Young soul, where untold adventures unfold. Where the moon shine and the sun glow. Plant seeds and see what grows. Water your garden with wishes and dreams. Free like a fish in the sea. But listen to me, not everyone listens to dreams. Some hearts are skipping a beat. I hate to break it the news, but some can't escape from the blues. Broken and bruised, spreading the negative views. That's what they hoping to do. Hate is strong, but love is reality's favorite song. So tune in your heartbeat and play along and shine your light to the break of dawn.
You got to know what's in your heart, child. For a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride. You got to know what's in your heart, child. You got to feel what's inside. Don't let them take you for a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride.
Throw some pennies in a wishing well. Throw some faith in your magic spells. Your fortune's yours, not theirs to tell. But it all come back like a carousel. Heaven and hell could be wherever you dwell. Cause you reveal yourself. You were a lens. All the reality bends from the vibrations you send. And spreading the love will keep you ahead and above. That's what good medicine does. Never give up. Spread it wherever, whoever's not getting enough. Fear is strong, but love is reality's clearest song. So tune in your heart to get spirits calm and shine your light till the tears are gone.
You got to know what's in your heart, child. You got to feel what's inside. Don't let them take you for a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride. You got to know what's in your heart, child. You got to feel what's inside. Don't let them take you for a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride.
Now, first of all, I do want to let y'all know that for the next couple of episodes forward, and eventually, and I get it, but I'm not stopping for sure. You know, no man, no woman is meant to be alone at all. Period. I'm not going to come on her and try to, cap or anything like that, saying that all men think this way.
Well, I have a question and a statement for you. First of all, sir, I forgot the statement, but my question is so you've never loved two women before at the same time?
No, not my whole entire life. No, I never cheated a day before my life.
I ain't asked you about cheating. I'm just saying, just in the dating phase. Okay, I remember my statement now.
He's online. He gotta say that.
I remember my statement now. I'm gonna let him come. I'm gonna let him live. I think I remember my statement. What was it? I forgot again. Damn it. Go ahead.
Sometimes the stuff that comes out of your head, it's not beneficial at all. You do realize that this whole scenario that you're mentioning about, you do realize that it is just about impossible. It's more like a unicorn fairy tale. Like say for example,
It's not
where
possible.
my no, like where my one daughter's telling me a fairy tale story that
Right.
it sounds great. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it just doesn't exist. Many modern day women, they'll literally throw out their accolades and stuff as well. They'll throw out their accolades, say, I have this, I have that. What do you have? I done went to school. I done got a bachelor's degree. I done got a master's degree. I done got all these different things. What do you have? Oh, that's a 9 to 5 job? Child. I have to be like real strategic with my networking now. And I have to like really just sit down and just really just vet people.
And just for a record, this is what we would call baby mama drama.
Absolutely.
It's not just exclusive to one race or one particular group.
As y'all could clearly see. As y'all can clearly see.
Urban, tell me what was the win. Tell me because a win in these verses is different for everybody's win. What is your thing that you think that they got the win for?
Terrence Howard.
Bye. Come up with this line.
They shut it down with that. To be cycled through the system. They're not gonna have no type of guidance, no type of support. Then also in the worst case scenarios that they end up developing mental behaviors or mental disorders, which make the situation worse, and which in turn they end up becoming adults, and hence this is where we get people who are sociopaths, psychopaths, chronic narcissists, and all these different other behaviors as well. Y'all know the topic. The topic is talking about women being master manipulators, which this is true. Women are master manipulators. And you keep saying that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. But yet and still, you have not did it yet. Why? Why? What's the holdup? What is the holdup? Today, on this Monday, on this Motivational Monday, it's time for Urban to give you some tough love. It's time for Urban to tell you to stop procrastinating. They literally correct fake news because they know that negative behavior sells. It's all part of psychology. They know that through the psychology of it all, they know that you as the viewer, you're gonna the first thing that's gonna come into your mind right now is that, hold up, why are they beefing? And what you're gonna do, you're gonna immediately gonna start investigating. You're gonna tune in and find out what is the beef about. It's all part of psychology.
I don't care how long it take to get a op back. All my niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.
Good evening, everybody. I am the official urban therapist. I appreciate you tuning into this evening episode. Like promised, with my lunchtime conversation episode, I promised you that I was going to do part 2 of reviewing the Kwame Brown and ToughLove conversation. If you haven't seen part 1 of the conversation, then I recommend you go ahead and see part 1 of the conversation. Okay, you can check out part 1. It's in my playlist. It's lunchtime conversation and the review of Kwame Brown and ToughLove. All right, so you can check that out. You could want to check all that out and see what's my perspective on that particular part of it. Now, I'll just go ahead and do part 2 of this, and on this part 2, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the whole entire thing. And I'm gonna give my perspective about this whole entire dialogue that Kwame Brown and Tough Love had. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I was actually just contemplating this time if I was going to actually show the video or was I going to do the audio like I did earlier today. You know what? Since I didn't change my atmosphere, totally different atmosphere. What the heck? Let's do the video as well too. I'm gonna show the video as well. All right. Now, if you want to see the whole video in its entirety, you could go to Kwame Brown page and you can want to check it out from there. All right. But yeah, I'm sure the whole entire video. I'm sure the video on here. You know, just to make it look nice. There you go. Boom. Gonna have it right here. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
So why would you frame it? Why are you watching everything I do and then frame it in a way of what you would do?
Okay. So to answer your question, just in short, I'm not watching everything that you do, Kwame. I think you under this impression that somebody is. I'm not even subscribed to your channel. Most of the things that I get from what's going on is third party or third hand, you know, and I address things accordingly in a timely fashion. So it is what it is. But my thought process in regards to the All-Star game or whatever case to be, if they are honoring the top 75 players or whatever case to be, and you're the number one draft pick from high school that's an African American, I would think that you would be in attendance of that.
Okay, let me go ahead and address this real quick. All right, this is an issue that I have as well too. Now, there have been several other different content creators that they have that, in other words, they had like different type of discrepancies with me or with my content, right? And so they end up inviting me up to, you know, they show, their platform, their panel, wherever the case may be. And so they begin to express to me the different discrepancies that they have with a certain video I put out, my content, or wherever the case may be. And then my rebuttal on it is simple. Did you watch my video in its entirety so you can understand where I'm coming from? Now, the reason why I have an issue with this is because it's going to be impossible for anyone to have a respectable conversation when you don't understand the one point of view or the perspective from the other person or the other party. If you're just coming in and you just like what Tough Love said, if you're just coming in, you just getting I'm gonna do the thing too. You're getting third party resources. In other words, someone is sharing a certain clip or a certain segment of what this said content creator is doing or saying. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take that as face value of the third party instead of doing your due diligence and really researching to see what the person is actually talking about. This is the reason why I have an issue with that. Because from there, it creates any type of negative feedback. It creates deception. It creates lies. It creates a lot of situations that could be easily avoided if you just took the time out and take the time out and do your due diligence and thus research the whole entire video in its entirety so you can understand where that person is coming from, period. So yeah, in this particular situation, I have to disagree with Tough Love on that. Get a third party resource for someone else. That's, to be honest with you, that shows that that's not cool. And on top of it, it shows a level that you rather trust a person who's giving you third party resources. You rather trust them to actually go and have the honest conversation with the content creator. Then on top of that, you're entering into the conversation already with ill intent in mind. You already have a certain narrative in mind that you're entering into the conversation without understanding the full story behind it. All right. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
So that's just my thoughts. That's my opinion. So again, it wasn't. I think for some reason, because you did the air quotes when you say package, right? So for some reason, what's being said to you, you have
Mark,
to
what's
ordain
up,
it to
man?
be
What's
malicious,
up?
or you have to ordain it to be disrespect versus just taking it for face value. I would think as a #1 draft pick, you would say, hey, shit, well, not that you're not proud of it. Cool. That's an achievement. You should be proud of it. But I would think that, hey, yeah, you should. Yeah, hell yeah, I would be in attendance if it was me. Damn right, I would be.
But that's what I'm saying. That's you.
Again,
You don't know.
just my perspective. Just my perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't really have a message that's against mine. You're nitpicking at this point. You're saying if I was this guy, I would do this. That's unfair to me.
What I
You
also
don't have to
said,
play if games with me. Dissect my message, like you say, and go against it or whatever you want to do. But saying what you would do if you were something, that's comparing yourself to me. Why are you doing that?
Okay. I don't. We have two different careers. The career that you took, I didn't take. There are not many people that took your career. Not many people that took my career. However, if you're doing something, that's great. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thought process. The thing is that if Kwame Brown is one hell of an N-word on YouTube, wouldn't it be great to see Kwame Brown around people that's been ordained or been promoted as one hell of an N-word as well in the NBA? Around your peers?
I'm a hell of a nigga in real life.
Okay, cool. So my thing about it is your claim to fame is NBA. So outside of that, I don't really know.
That's not my claim to fame. That's a job that I chose, sir. That basketball is a job. Whether you guys want to know it or not, it's called the business of basketball.
Being drafted.
So you guys, okay, that's a job, sir.
Again,
I got paid to do a job. I got paid to entertain.
So that's
what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to make entertainment my entire life. I'm a man. Respect me as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And what you guys are not doing is respecting me as a man just because I got hired to entertain you. I'm not entertaining you anymore. So what I'm saying is you putting yourself in my shoes, which you cannot do, sir. You cannot feel these shoes, just like I cannot feel your shoes. It is no disrespect. I don't think I could go through the military. That's why I did not enroll.
Mm.
I got a lane that I stay in, sir, and I think you should stay in yours. You can't go around all of YouTube and put yourself in position as that man and say, this is what I would do, and this is tough love. I just want to give you this. No, that's called dirty macking.
Okay.
All right. Now let's go ahead and analyze this conversation, okay? Now, the overall point that Kwame is trying to say with tough love, I do have to agree with him on that, because it do appear that tough love is trying to make Kwame, in other words, think like him or to be like him. But yeah, it appears that he's trying to make Kwame think like him and be like him. So in that aspect, tough love, Kwame is not like you. He doesn't think how the way you think. His life situation isn't the same like your life situations. Y'all two totally different human beings with two totally different experiences. But however, just like I stated on my last video, just because y'all have two totally different two totally different lifestyles or whatever, that doesn't mean that you cannot relate to each other based on your experiences. Now, so with that, Kwame Brown is absolutely correct on this one. You cannot, in other words, put him, as he would say in the Dulo twist, put him into this category that you want him to be or that you're interpreting him to be. Let me give you an example of the same scenario, right? All right. During my time in ministry, right, when I used to be a youth minister, right, people used to always put me into a category or put me into a box where since I took on the role or the persona of being a minister, right? That I had to be this certain image for people all day, every single day, without people understanding that at the end of the day, I am human. That I'm human and I go through things, I'm walking through the same life journey as everyone else. So yes, I walk through it. I make certain decisions that people will agree with. I make certain choices, decisions that people don't agree with. But at the end of the day, I am human. But however, the same set people they put me in such a category or such a box where they made it a requirement that I had to be this particular image all day, every day. Which that is unrealistic and that's unfair. Because if that be the case, if I had to be this image of this minister who kept making the mistakes, then if I do make mistake, God gonna give me. Then likewise, by me by default, you listening to the message that I'm preaching and stuff, right? By default, you should be in the same category with me as well because you're considered as a follower of the message that I'm presenting, correct? You are a follower, you're part of the congregation, all these different things, you're a member and all these different things. So you should be following the same suit. So if this applies to me by logic, it should apply to you as well. And when you think about it from that perspective, you begin to start thinking the same thing. You're like, man, well, that's not fair. That's unrealistic because at the end of the day, God knows my heart. God knows my heart. God knows that I make mistakes and stuff like that. That be the case, fine. Then you understand my point of view of that. That at the end of the day, even though I carry a quote unquote title or it could be a quote unquote profession, that doesn't necessarily determine my character. That doesn't overall determine who I am as a man. And this is the point that Kwame Brown was trying to make to you, is that at the end of the day, he is a man. Just because he had a career in basketball, he spent majority of his life dealing with basketball as his career or his chosen profession to entertain people. That's not his overall nucleus of who he is. That he had to be this persona every single moment, every single day. And that's the point that he's trying to make to you, ToughLove. That's the point that he's trying to make towards you. Now, also on the flip side of that, even on the flip side of that, Kwame Brown, even though that you're not in the NBA anymore, or as you say, you're not entertaining in that level no more, technically speaking, you're still entertaining. The reason why you're still entertaining is because you are now a content creator on YouTube. Like I stated in my last video, each and every last one of us as content creator, our number one job is to do what? Clout chase. That's what we do. That's our position. That's our profession. That's what we get paid to do. It's the clout. We go out and we find the story. We find the source, and we present it. And the way that would be entertaining and, all these different other ways. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I first found out about you, Kwame Brown, when I first found out about you, it was when you was going through the whole process with Matt Barnes and with, Stephen A. Smith and all them. So that's when I first really, really found out about who you are. Other than that, I knew that you was a basketball player, and I knew that at one point in time you played for for the Wizards at one point in time too. Now, I think you played for the Bobcats too at one point in time. I knew of that, but I didn't know nothing else about you. But I didn't really start learning more about you until you enter into the YouTube space and you created your platform and you start using your platform for what? For clout. And the very first thing you started using for clout for was for what? You start talking about how the way people is a part of a system. You start talking about how people was talking about you and how people were saying that, you know, you're quote unquote bust, and you start embracing that persona of being a bust because everybody else was talking to you about that. End up going viral, and you're now at the space where you at right now. So in other words, you technically still are entertaining, but you're not, and you're not entertainment for us in the NBA space, but you are using your title to enter into YouTube, enter into the space to still clout and entertain. So there's no way around that, Kwame Brown. You're not exempt from that. Period.
Okay, cool. So let me do this. How can you put yourself in a position of Dwayne Wade then?
I didn't put myself in a position of Dwayne Wade. Notice how I don't have videos with Dwayne Wade in the title every other day. I don't even think I put Dwayne Wade in the title.
Whether it's one time or it's numerous times, if you
That's your opinion. Let me finish my statement, and then you can say what you're going to say. I believe as a man, you have a right to say whatever you want to say. This flag in your service protects all of my rights and yours to say whatever it is you want to say. Here's where it becomes where you're doing it for profit, where you're putting a man's name in the title every second of every video, where you're critiquing what this man is doing, where you're critiquing this man's clothes, where you're critiquing this man's talk, where you're critiquing his phrase. I just said I was a hell of a nigga. That's not taking anything.
Keep the facts about what you think I'm doing on me. Never
that's what you said.
Shades or nothing.
I'm talking about you. You talked about me being drunk. You talked about numerous of things
doing
about
a conversation. If right now I was drinking alcohol.
How many beers do you know I consume?
It's not about that, Kwame.
I just
how many?
You said it's not about that. You said you feel like drinking. You felt like drinking took over the conversation when all you saw was one beer, sir.
Kwame, how many conversations you have you're passionate about that you think drinking will add to the conversation? That would be a positive thing.
I will do the same thing dead sober. When somebody giving me I've had conversations with everybody. Drinking or not drinking, you come to the situation respectful, you're going to leave with your respect intact. That's the excuse that you're trying to give me. Drinking don't control nothing. I had a beer, a Budweiser. I'm grown.
It don't control anything, but why have it then? So you don't need the beer. You had the beer, and then your actions kind of simulated that. Well, maybe
I'm saying that what I'm saying is you're making it about the beer. I'm standing on what I said. I'm standing on my behavior. A man, all his job is to stand on and take whatever consequence and whatever reaction that he puts out. That's what a man does.
Okay, we talk about being a man. If you're going to drink, then you're going to get criticism for drinking. To me, that's
no. I don't care about your I don't care about anyone's criticism. But okay. I don't know you. I don't know Gilbert. Gilbert hasn't been around me for 10 years. So your criticism comes from.
All right. Before they continue on with this conversation, this conversation is going towards what I was saying on the first part of this, where there was a video that was out where Kwame Brown was drinking beer on this live, and apparently Gilbert Arenas was addressing that he was drinking on her, right? And I'm just speculating because I haven't seen ToughLove video or commentary about this, nor I haven't seen the full video of what they're referencing to right now, you know. But like I say, I'm only speculating that this is what was happening. But my question that I'm asking to ToughLove is that why is this an issue? I don't understand why this is an issue to you. Why Kwame Brown drinking beer on a lie is so serious. Now, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I know that even on my lives, whenever I have live shows, I drink on my lives. I either have a glass of scotch with me sometimes. I either have a glass of bourbon or whatever. I feel like drinking at that moment. And I'll be literally drinking on the live. So I'm trying to understand why is this an issue? Why is this such a serious issue to you? So far, what I'm gathering, what I'm gathering through your perspective is that you're still looking at Kwame Brown as this certain type of, I guess, certain type of public figure or a certain type of image, and so therefore, maybe by you seeing that, you're believing that he should maintain this type of image all the time, this type of positive image all the time, including on his live. But once again, just like I stated earlier, at the end of the day, Kwame Brown, without the image of him used to be a NBA player or his popularity, whatever. At the end of the day, he still is human. He still is a man. So that's where I'm not confused about this whole particular conversation right here and why this particular thing is very triggering for you, ToughLove. I'm not understanding that. And that's to make it even more deeper, right? There are plenty of content creators that do drink on their lives. There are content creators that literally make videos about them drinking on the live throughout the whole entire live. There were communities known as mukbang communities where people will literally do videos about eating all day, every day. And even while they're eating, guess what they're doing? They're drinking something, some type of substance, whether it's alcoholic beverages or it could be, like I'm doing right now. Technically, I'm drinking water right now, but sometimes, like I said, I'll be drinking alcohol too. But wherever they feel like they want to drink, they drink it on their live. Now, I can tell you the reason why they do that. Now, the reason why they do that is because, first of all, it's because they feel like they have every right to do that. Because once again, this is their platform, this is their live, this is their content, and they are the artists. They are the content creator. So they can do whatever they want to do because it's their lives, their show. The second reason is because the obvious part, because it's just entertainment. They're entertaining their audience. They're captivating their audience. What they're doing, they are psychologically showing to their audience that, hey, that, hey, even though I'm on here and I'm live and I'm a content creator, y'all could see me as this public type of figure person, I'm still human. So it is okay for you to drink just like I'm drinking. But however, I'm not on here drinking and turning up where I'm doing the whole live and I'm just flat out drunk for entertainment. I'm drinking because it's something that I'm choosing to do and it's entertaining to do. Because psychologically, people can relate to that. There are some content creators that I've seen in different sectors where they be smoking marijuana on their videos. They be smoking cigarettes on their videos. They be doing all kind of stuff. They be smoking cigars, all kind of stuff. And the reason why they do it because it is their right to do that. And also it's part of entertainment and they just using that as a tool to relate to people. So once again, that's why I don't understand the whole issue behind this. I don't understand why ToughLove, this is such an issue to you. All right. But maybe you'll clarify it.
Nowhere.
It's not about Gilbert. It's with anybody. If
you saw one beer and made this assumption off one beer. Where are you an expert in beer and who's drunk over the internet?
Kwame Brown, did I tell you that you were drunk in the video?
You said you believe that my drinking led to my behavior.
Right.
And I'm saying, are you skilled and trained in that analysis?
I believe your drinking led to that behavior, but I didn't say you was drunk. So we're gonna stay.
Are you skilled? Are you skilled in that? And are you skilled in that to know how much?
And once again, Kwame Brown, what he doing again? He's doing that thing that I said in my first video about this, where basically he's trying to disqualify ToughLove opinion about drinking. That's what he's doing right now. He's basically trying to disqualify him. So in other words, he trying to put this whole type of narrative that you have to have a certain type of level of qualifications in order for you to address this situation. And just like I said on the last video, I don't agree with that at all. Everyone have their right to their perspective or their opinion. A person perspective and opinion don't have to be a professional one. Especially when we are on YouTube, because at the end of the day, the YouTube space isn't nothing professional. It's nothing professional about YouTube. The whole entire YouTube platform is built on what? Entertainment. Entertaining the audience, captivating the audience. So it's nothing professional about it whatsoever. Now it's a difference if a certain, say, a content creator created a video, right, and that whole video was geared towards professionalism. That's a totally difference then. Then not only that content creator will not only geared towards the professionalism, that content creator, he's giving out straight, actual, peer-reviewed facts about the whatever type of they're talking about and everything. Then that's different. But when you're just having a regular YouTube video and you're just having a regular dialogue, and different things like that, it doesn't require an essay. It doesn't require you being an expert. It doesn't require you having a peer level review understanding of what they're talking about. Because all you're doing, you just conversating, period. That's all you're doing. That is all you're doing at the end of the day. You're just having a conversation. So I don't agree with Kwame Brown with that. Just like I stated in my last video, I don't agree with that. But he's going to continue on this path.
But because you didn't see, there's a lot you didn't know to come to any conclusion. You didn't know where I was at. You didn't know how many beers I had. You just heard Gilbert Arenas say that. You heard Gilbert Arenas say that. And all of a sudden, now every video you're talking about drinking, you're talking about how I laugh. You critiquing everything that I do. Who laughs like that? Who jokes like that? I seen him respond to Gilbert and Tammy, and he was joking. Why do I have to respond to them? Why do I
already responded to them? Huh? Aren't you already responding to them?
In the way that I feel like it. This is
okay, that's cool. That's fine.
You're telling me how to respond.
Cool. The thought process is, if you're going to respond, people are doing numerous reaction videos. I'm glad that mine got your attention, but the fact of the matter is, me personally, again, if that's the way you want to respond, then that's how you respond. To me, it didn't solve anything. I don't know if you were trying to combat what was saying. You were saying that
I wasn't. I was actually laughing. Because if I haven't shown how ridiculous these men have been behaving, then I don't know what you've been seeing. A Kwame Brown shot at his own children. And then the Kwame Brown that they figured out, it was allegedly a rapper.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want
what I'm saying is, so you want me to entertain buffoonery. You want me to go back and forth with guys that's calling my mother the B word and a guy who said he's going to buy my mother's house and give it to the guy.
I'm saying, do you want me to entertain the chat or you want me to entertain you?
Huh?
Because you thought I understand this, but
I'm only putting up who paid to talk. That's all I'm doing. That doesn't mean I take on the opinion of whoever I'm putting up. These are people who are super chat, and I put up everybody who's super chat. So if anybody's entertaining the chat, it's you. I'm not putting up anybody's chat that didn't donate to the channel.
Okay. Now, I had addressed this in the first video too about the super chat too, but I'm gonna address it on this video as well too. Now, I noticed that ToughLove had a huge issue about Kwame Brown putting up the super chat while they was having the conversation. Now, his understanding is that he believes that if we're having a adult conversation, he believed that it's supposed to be just between the two parties. That's it, him and Kwame Brown, which I can relate to that. I understand that. But at the same time, you also have to understand that you have to understand also that this is YouTube. This is YouTube. You have to understand that. So therefore, since this is YouTube, and just like I mentioned in my first video about this, um, Tough Love have to understand that this is Kwame's Brown house. So whatever he feel like he want to do in this house, he's going to do it. But it is Tough Love job. It's Tough Love job for him to be balanced and centered, where he's not getting triggered based on what people are saying about him, especially if he put it up in the super chat. Even though he's putting it up in the super chat and he can see it clear as day, he don't have to react to that. He don't have to let these things trigger him. When the person get triggered by certain things, that is a choice that they're making. It is absolutely a choice that they're making, period. Now, case in point, on the first video that I did on this also, I have made this point also that I went to another person or another content creator on platform, right? And they was doing the same as that thing. People in the chat, they was talking bad about me. They was talking about how the way I talk, how the way I presented myself on there, everything. They was doing everything. It was going in on me. But I did not allow myself to enter into that space where it triggered me to start responding to the chat. Even came to a point where this same content creator invited another content creator, and that same content creator was doing the same thing. Going in. But I made a decision during that interaction. I made a decision that I'm not going to allow people to trigger me because I know that's what they want. I know that they want that type of reaction. So to counter that, I chose not to participate. I chose not to react to it. And therefore, that's why I'm saying the same thing with you on Tough Love, is that you have to have a level of self-discipline where you don't allow the reflections of how the way people feel about you trigger you to the point where it pushes you into this space. Even right now, on my own personal platform, there have been trolls that came on here that talk about me. And I'm looking at them. I'm the content creator. I see everything that happens in my chat. I see everything that happens in my chat. But yet and still, when I see different things like that, I don't even entertain it. I don't even say nothing about it. I just let it be what it is. And I'm not saying this on Tough Love just to say that I'm better than you or anything like that. I don't want you to misinterpret what I'm saying. But what I'm encouraging you is that, first of all, you have to understand that you are entering into, whenever you go on these type platforms, you got to understand that you have to abide by their house rules, period. There's no way around that. You can't change it. You can't make their house rule fits you or fix your narrative. You have to abide by the house rule. Whatever they got going on, you got to abide by it. If you don't like it, then you could get off the panel. It's just that simple. If you don't like that Kwame Brown's showing the super chat and the majority of the super chat is going against you, you don't have to read it. I don't care if it is on the screen. You don't have to read it. Then even then, you don't even have to engage in it. You don't have to do that at all, period. Now, I know that I know for a fact through this basic training, that's through basic training, right? I know that the military trained you to when you should engage the enemy. And this is through basic training. They put the military personnel through several different scenarios and challenge you: should I engage this person or should I disengage? Likewise, in this same scenario, you also have to have that same type of training and that same type of discipline to where you need to know when to engage and when to disengage, especially if you know that you're engaging to a situation or a hostile territory that instead of you having a sound mind, it's going to have you so triggered where you're not thinking logically. Just imagine that. Just imagine that you're you're in a line of fire. You're in the field. You're in enemy territory, right? And you're into this territory, and next thing you know, you're being triggered about wherever that's happening in that territory that you're in. Instead of you having a sound mind and having a sound judgment, engaging when you need to, disengaging, or even retreating when you need to, you're so triggered that you're not even thinking straight. So you're just doing any old crazy thing. You're taking up your arms, you're shooting everything that you see. So this scenario that I'm saying, it is no different from being a regular civilian. It is no different than when you're dealing with people on YouTube. It's no different. So this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, that you have to have some type of a level of discipline, and you have to understand that at the end of the day, this is Kwame Brown house that you're in. You got to understand that. Got to understand that, and not only that, you have to accept it as well too. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know, right, bro? But yeah, they do it. People do it. But at the end of the day, I just accept it for what it is. I accept people behavior for what it is, and I just don't allow it to trigger me. You know.
So you can go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So my thought process is how you respond is how you respond. And whether I do a reaction video where I agree or disagree, then that's what it is. But every other video is not with Kwame Brown. I have some videos where I agreed and some videos where I disagreed. And for some reason, the videos where I disagree, they were being called sneak disses versus your name and your likeness being in the video if I use your audio, whatever case to be, but you can see the video for yourself. So I thought it was kind of odd where it was kind of like, oh, this is sneaky, this is that. I'm like, you can see the video for yourself if you watch it, just like you encouraged me to watch this 4-hour video. Well, hell, watch the hour-long video or the 30-minute video and see for yourself versus having clips saying that he must be doing this. To me, I feel like you had a battery in your back and it wasn't you. Because when we met on Miss 504's platform, you told me, hey, I didn't take none of your videos as disrespectful. But after the platform, now all of a sudden, the videos that were made before 504's platform, you felt that was disrespectful or you felt that was sneak dissing.
I said I didn't feel like you was disrespecting me, but I have to ask you some questions. Because
okay, that's why I'm here.
I always felt that you was a sneak dissing. I said that from day one. When Gravity Takeout first pointed that out, I'm like, this dude is doing the exact same thing that we're doing. He's just trying to pretend like the nice guy. At the end of the day, when you meet a girl, we all want to have sex, whether we're saying, hey, yo, mama, what's up? Or we say, hey, excuse me, man, how you doing? Oh, are we not? Do you not want to have sex with a woman? When you meet her and she's attractive and you say, excuse me, miss, how are you doing? Do you not want to have sex with her just like the dude that's saying, hey, yo, mama, what's up?
It depends if I'm attracted to her.
I just said an attractive woman that you meet. Initially, we all as men, we're visual. So initially, whether how nice you talk or not, you want some of those cookies. That don't mean that's all you want, but it's the same result, and that's what you're doing on YouTube.
Well, let's stay with that analogy. Let's stay with that analogy. If we both see an attractive woman and we say, yeah, I would love to have sex with that woman or whatever, how you approach her and how I approach her may be different. So how I approach this content on YouTube may be different than how you approach it. So my way may get the girl or my way may not get the girl. So your way may get, views and my way may not. It all depends on what you grow accustomed to and what you're about.
I just don't understand.
All right, let me address this, okay? Once again, I believe that ToughLove had missed the point that Kwame Brown was saying, all right? Which I understood clearly what he was talking about. And he was using the analogy of, dating. of a man trying to get a woman, and it was a really good analogy. It really was a really good analogy. So basically, what Kwame Brown was saying is that at the end of the day, your overall end goal or intentions is the same as everyone else on YouTube. And that's what he's trying to get you to acknowledge. He's trying to get you to that point of acknowledging that you are a clout chaser, period. Or as he clearly said, you slick this, which that is true too. Just like I stated, and I keep reiterating, we as content creators, we're here to clout chase. That is all, in this situation, that is all what Kwame Brown is trying to get ToughLove to understand, is that your end goal is the same as my end goal. We are the same. We are doing the same thing. Even though you may use a different line than I do, or your tactics may be different than how the way I do it, but the end goal is still the same. Back in the day, where we had dudes where we called them like pretty boys and stuff, right? Where these dudes they be so slick with the lines and stuff, right? And they could get the chick. Also, we had other dudes where they were rough or thuggish or whatever. They had a way of getting the chick as well too. But regardless of the fact, the whole end goal was that they tried to get the chick, period. That was the end goal. And likewise, that is the same thing what Kwame Brown was trying to explain to you, ToughLove, is that your end goal is the same as his end goal. So he's not understanding why you feel like what he's doing is wrong when you're doing the same exact thing. That's what he's trying to tell you. Once again, this is my perspective.
Understand, like Carcino asked, what points do you disagree with Kwame?
I've addressed those points. I can't.
You never addressed it with me. So now that you're here with me, what points do you disagree that I've said that you want to hold me to? Because you said that I don't talk about trading and coding. I'm doing more than talk.
I said in my video that I feel like, because someone asked me, I thought you were a supporter of Kwame Brown. And I said, well, when I first came across Kwame Brown, it was him talking about trading and coding. I said at some point in time, he kind of got involved with the back and forth doing other things or whatever case may be, which is fine. Everybody ain't gonna always talk about trading and coding or whatever. But my thought process was, let's get back to the positive. Let's get back to helping these kids and talking about the positive. So that's always been the narrative or whatever case may be. So whatever else is being pushed is kind of, what I'm saying, is crazy to me.
But that's crazy to me.
All right, then here's this another thing too, which ToughLove is going back to this. He's going back to the one narrative that he believed that, for some reason, he believed that every content creator on the YouTube space should think and perceive and do content just like him. In other words, since he feel like that he's going out, he's doing positive content. He feel like that every content creator should be doing the same exact thing. So in his example, he was reverting back to when Kwame Brown was talking about trading and coding. All right. So he was saying that he became a fan of Kwame Brown when he was talking about trading and coding, when he was talking about that he was going out and doing things for the community, stuff like that. That's what gravitated him towards that. You know what I'm saying? That's what gravitated him towards Kwame. So ToughLove is saying that instead of him sticking to trading and coding the way that he wanted him to, Kwame Brown started talking about all these different other type of issues that he just don't agree with. Now I don't agree with this, because just like I always say that at the end of the day we all content creators. However Kwame Brown want his content to be, that is on him. Can't stop that. On my on different videos that I have did, one of the biggest things that I talk about is not only accountability, but I talk deeply about the things that are happening in certain sectors, such as the one black B sector, the black T sector, and all these other different sectors, because they're creating a lot of negative content. And the reason why I address them issues is because I know that by them doing these negative content, it's putting a lot of people in different negative spaces where it's to the extreme where they start to dox and swap people and putting up at people's jobs, getting people on careers and doing all kind of weird, crazy bullcrap. So that's the reason why I address that. That's the reason why on my platform I address these certain issues, because at the end of the day, I want people to be held accountable for the behavior that they're doing within that sector. Now, with that being said, right, I'm not going on a whole campaign saying that I want people to be like the official urban therapist. I want people to put out the same exact content as the official urban therapist. I'm not saying that, because I understand at the end of the day, YouTube is entertainment. And I also understand that we all different, we all unique, we all have our own different type of life experiences that we deal with daily. I understand that. I also mentioned this as well too on the first video, that when I first entered into the YouTube space, I was very naive about the things that was going on in YouTube until I started learning about it. At first, I was in the same space with ToughLove where, hey, everybody need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do it exactly how the way I'm doing it. You need to talk about the things exactly how the way I'm saying it, blah, blah, blah. Now, so I used to be in that space. But I had took time out and held my own self accountable for the message that I was putting out there. Then from there, I started going back and observing and started figuring out the why it is the way it is. Then once when I figure out the why, that's when I start understanding people. I start understanding why they put the content out there, why they present it the way they do and everything. So now I'm no longer in that space where I'm just super my boy Trey mentioned this about me, his stuff on. He was saying, you acting like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, I'm really not, you know what I'm saying? But I enter out of that space where I'm sitting up here trying to change everything, you know what I'm saying? Because some things is not that serious and it's not as bad as you perceive it to be, you know what I'm saying? But other things, it really is. It really is bad, you know what I'm saying? But I digress.
To me, that you were always the guy that's telling people what their channel is and what their message is. You can't find one video that said my message is trading and coding. You can't find one video.
I said when I got introduced to you.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me
your message?
Oh, wait. You mean to tell me you didn't see? Because I didn't come to the internet talking about trading and coding. So you missed the Becky with the good hair. You missed the back and forth with the athletes. That
before
was
trading and coding.
Yeah, before trading and coding.
Before trading and coding.
Yes, hottest. Yes, sir. The hottest month ever. When people were talking about Kwame Brown the most, when it was 20,000 people.
When I first came across you, it was a trading and coding things or whatever. Whatever came after that.
No, I'm talking about. I'm answering you. My first initial video was in response to Becky with the good hair and Steven Jackson, and for like a month straight, those videos were going viral. That's when I'm on an iPhone 8 in a pickup, and there's 10,000 people in the chat. So you missed all of that, and you only heard when I said trading and coding in school.
When I came across you, was trading and coding, and then what happened was other people that I was hold on for a second. Other people that was subscribed to you. That's when I came across the whole Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Smith or whatever case may be. So I wasn't on that wave of what you just said. I came after the trading and coding. So that's why I said when I was introduced to you. Through your video, it was about trading and coding. So I was like, damn, this is a former NBA player talking about trading and coding. This is exactly what we need to be pushing. So that's what really locked in on the whole situation. It probably wouldn't even been Matt Barnes. I don't care nothing about Matt Barnes and your beef with Matt Barnes. So I mean, it probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't even care, to be honest with you. When you start talking about trading and coding, I said, okay, this is something. Let me share this or like this or say something about it. And I think that's when the videos actually began. And that was me agreeing with you.
So if you were agreeing with me, all I said was trading and coding should be in all schools so that all these children have an opportunity to have an alternative other than going to jail to learn a trade or getting out of high school and trying to go to a college and getting behind in debt. So do you agree that trade and coding need to be in schools, or are you just upset with me because I don't use my platform to say it every day?
I'm not upset with you. First of all, I'm not upset with you. Second of all, the level of consistency that I thought that you were going to promote with the trading and coding, I didn't see it. So I said that. So it wasn't about what you better do or else. It was about, hey, I don't see this, bro. You know, can we get back to this or whatever case be? That's like if you keep, because you keep, to me, you keep trying to, well, you've already said this narrative of trying to be positive and doing the air quotes. To me, you know what I'm saying? I kind of see that as another way because I don't think I'm doing it, you know what I'm saying, to you. But the fact of the matter is, I feel like if we're going to talk about, you know, helping children.
Yeah, I got to mention this too. ToughLove getting triggered. Yeah, he getting pretty trigger on that. But once again, the point that Kwame Brown is making on this is very valid. It's a very valid question, and I believe that ToughLove answered that question. I honestly believe he answered that question. And I honestly believe that ToughLove do want Kwame Brown to utilize his platform to continue to talk about positive things, which in this case, trading and coding. When he seen that Kwame Brown was deviating from trading and coding or anything positive, he had a problem with it. It is what it is. So therefore, he wanted to change the narrative. He wanted to start talking about it. Therefore, through my understanding, once again, I'm speculating now, but to my understanding, that's when ToughLove started doing, different reaction videos of Kwame Brown talking about other things. You know what I'm saying? He started doing these different reaction videos, and ToughLove, he may have reverted back to saying like, well, Kwame, I used to like your platform a whole lot when you talk about trading and coding and helping the community. You're going out with the community and doing these different things, but now you're simply talking about these other things, and I'm doing a reaction video and I'm gonna talk about it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, still ToughLove. What you're doing, that's still what we do as content creators, which is clout chasing. That is what it is. Then also it's very interesting to me as well that even now that the whole mentality of ToughLove is that he honestly believed that he could convince Kwame to change his platform into the way that he wanted to be. I find that interesting as well too.
And trading and coding, yeah, I would think there would be a level of consistency there. And if we fall off, somebody should remind us to get back to us, whether it's a subscriber or not. And at that particular time, I was a subscriber.
So, okay, my original question was, so did you agree that trading and coding need to be in all schools and STEM now, because STEM is also the wave of the future. It's not just about, one thing. So are you saying that you agree with me that it should be in schools or not? Because I still haven't heard the disagreement.
I said I agreed. I think
so you agree that it should be in schools. So let me ask you this. Have you donated to any STEM or any program that has anything to do with coding? Or have you been to any town hall meetings advocating for the city council members to put trading and coding in school? Because I have.
I've been to several town hall meetings in reference to trading and coding. I have not advocated for that, no.
So what
I've advocated for after school specials, tutors being paid for. I've advocated for in reference to public defenders, instead of having public defenders, actually having lawyers that give a damn, so that way their cases don't have to be 50 cases, they can be smaller. So yeah, I've done some things here in Houston, yes.
So what I'm saying is, and what I encourage everybody around to do, because I believe a lot of us like to talk and like to detract from other people, but it's going to take money. It's going to take money, and it's going to take your time. So sitting on the internet, me saying,
okay, yep. I have to agree with you on that too, Mark. Who knows about trading and coding? Um, to answer that, bro, I know about trading and coding. I know where Kwame is coming from because when I was in high school, we used to have a lot of trading programs. In fact, um, normally um, I went to okay, I went to a public school system here in Texas. Okay, and so in the school system that I went to, we had trading and coding programs, and we also had what Kwame Brown's talking about STEM. But back then, it wasn't known as STEM. You know what I'm saying? It was known as another program. But them type of program exists. But here's the thing about it. All right, and this is go towards the accountability part. All right, these type of programs was there only as electives. That was only there as electives, and that was also only there as quote unquote a type of form of extracurricular activities as well for the students. Now, the reason why is these programs have dwindled away in the public system is because of who? Us as the parents. It's because us as the parents, we never took the time out to be a part of the PTA meetings that they be having. We never took time to vote in or vote out the correct people who are part of the school board system or the people who are part of the educational system in your state. We never did simple things like that. A matter of fact, on case in point, the state of Texas just last week. Matter of fact, you was on the video, you was watching my video last week where we had a primary election. Do you know when we had a primary election? Guess how much of a percentage of just the black population went out and vote that day? Just guess. I'm gonna tell you, less than 40% of the African American population in the whole state of Texas voted that day. Less than 40%. And that is terrible. But yet it's still that same percentage who didn't vote right, them are the same ones who are just like with Kwame Brown talking about, oh, we need to advocate for this, we need to advocate for that, we need to advocate for trading and coding, we need to advocate for STEM programs and all stuff that like, we wouldn't have to advocate for that if your lazy butt would have went out and voted. You know what I mean? So everybody's held accountable for that. We would be having these programs if not only you went out and voted, but you participated in these PTA programs and that was part of these different school systems in your state that you're representing. So we wouldn't even be having this conversation because they'd be existing. So due to the fact that people never made trading and coding, never made a STEM program an actual requirement instead of just an elective, end up getting voted out, where it no longer became an elective in the public school sector, with students going through high school. But however, on the flip side, there are plenty of private school sectors that have these programs. And you want to know why? It's because the parents are very engaged into the educational system because they're putting money into the system and they participate in the PTA programs and they are voting or voting either for people to be part of the school board system or voting out of people who don't need to be part of the school board system. That's what they're doing in these private sectors. That's why the more wealthier sectors now have trading and coding and the STEM program, not as an elective, but actual as a requirement. So once again, my question is, and I hope Kwame Brown look at this because I'm actually addressing you about this trading and coding thing. So my question is this: who is held accountable for that? Is it the government in your state, or is it you, the people, who didn't take the time out to vote, to go out and vote and make sure that the trading and coding in the STEM program and all these different programs becomes a requirement instead of an elected they got blotted out? Who's accountable for that? Who's accountable? Could that be the case? You would not be having this conversation right now about trading and coding. I guarantee you that. I guarantee that.
Trading and coding every day is not going to get it done. It's a lot of people on the internet with thick tongues, and they're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking. When I started showing that I donated to Saginaw STEM, people started saying, "Oh, what type of millionaire brag about doing that?" So I didn't show it, but I'm still doing it. I'm still saying the Saginaw STEM should be all over America. If the government won't do it, because somehow what black folks and some people, my detractors, not all black folks, what they try to do is, instead of doing the work, I'll just sit back and talk about the person who introduced this thought to say.
Okay. And here's another part with this too, where he talking about, people that sit up here and talk about it, all right? Here's another part that I disagree with this, all right? This goes back once again about when I'm talking about voting, all right? Especially voting in the primary elections going on in your local community or your said state. There is a reason why you have people known as local representative politicians. There's a reason why they're there. There's a reason why you have state representatives. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is because these people are the representation of the people. So it doesn't require for me to go and go to the local government to talk about issues. It's their job to do that, not my job. But however, it is my job to go to them who's representing and talk about the issue. It's my job to do that. And also, it's my job to make sure that we voting in the right person who's going to be the best representation for us to do that. But that's where the problem relies at, is that we're so concerned about we're so concerned about our own personal space, our own personal bubble. We don't think about things happening around our community. We don't think about things like that. We don't think about political matters, because we've been told, especially as Black people, we've been told that politicians are crooked, they're evil, they never have the best interests at heart for us. We've been told this narrative, we've been told this propaganda, we've been taught it from time and time again. So therefore, that's why we don't engage into it. I say that it's time for us to change that narrative. Clearly, throughout all these elections that we've been through, especially in the 21st century, clearly there should be a wake-up call telling us that we need to at least do our part and make sure that we have the person who represent us. Because here's another thing too. There are also certain laws and statutes out there that we as a citizen, we are not aware of. Of course, we could go and research it or whatever and stuff like that, but that is only just the minor part of it. Just a little bit of a lot of things that have been put into place. So it takes a person who represent us, who know and understand the laws and statute of our said state, who could represent us properly, who could go out and critique the law in such a way where it could benefit us. But once again, if we're not going out and voting and we're not voting for the right person to represent us, then we're, as you say, we're stuck in the Dulo twist and we're just talking and having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that part that every person should be going out and saying something, because that's the reason why we have representatives for that. That's the whole point. We are, one last thing too. These representatives is known as public servants, okay? They're known as public servants. Therefore, they're a servant to us. Their whole job is to be a servant to us. Public servant isn't just the local law enforcement. Public servant ain't just nurses and doctors, or other things, firefighters and stuff. It doesn't stop there. Public service is the representatives who also come and represent us as well too. So, and we're paying them too. We're paying them through our salary at our job. This is the whole point why they take out 10% of our taxes for these reasons, so we could pay these public servants a salary so they could go out and represent us. But it's up to us to understand the why and also understand our role in it. Period.
Say that they needed to be in schools, and it's the government job. We just found 60 million to put together a crack pipe package for people to do crack. So you mean to tell me our government can't put together some money for our Black American kids and our white American kids and our Spanish?
Then since you're talking about this crack pipe thing, I'm gonna throw it out here again. Many of y'all have to be held accountable because a lot of people voted your president in for what? Y'all voted him in because your quote unquote celebrity, your quote unquote entertainer said that this would be the best person to represent the country. Let's be held accountable for that. This is the same dude that said, you're not black if you don't vote for me. And people gravitate towards that as a sign of freedom. It's the same person who said that. Same person who created the one crime bill against the Black American community. Same people. So yeah, we got to be held accountable for that. You got to be held accountable for that. So you can't sit up here and go and cry and doing all this. Oh man, he doing this. He the one did a crap pipe thing now. Oh my God. No, this is y'all leader. This is who you wanted. So you're gonna have to deal with it. This is who you wanted, so you're gonna have to deal with it. That is my perspective about that. Miss Wilson, how you doing?
American kids, you were in the military. They just found a couple $100 million to go give to somebody else to fight a war. They have money to give $450,000 to illegals. What happened to the Black folks? What happened to our educational system? What happened to us? And that's not Kwame Brown's job. It's my job to bring awareness. It's my job to stand behind what I say, which I do with my money and my time. And it's your job to do the same thing. Not to tell.
Wait a minute, hold up. I promise y'all we're gonna get through this, but the reason why I'm focused on this part right here, because this is the part where I totally disagree with Kwame through his dialogue about that. I totally disagree with him throughout this whole entire section right here. I totally disagree with him because once again he said that, well, it's not my job to do that, but however, it's my job to bring awareness. You just said earlier that you had a problem with dude that's sitting behind a platform and just talking about it. Technically, Kwame, you're doing the same as that thing. Just because you sit on the platform and you talk about it and then you do your quote unquote donate whenever you feel that you should donate, you feel that that's good enough when that's just only scratching the surface of the issue. To be honest with you, Kwame, a lot of people donate. To be honest with you, Kwame, again, everyone donates in this country. Everyone donate in this country either willfully or not. This is the whole point that I made about us getting our taxes taken out of our earnings. That's just the whole point of that. We're either donated willfully or unwillfully. Everyone is doing it. Everyone. All of us. So just because you feel like that you're doing a little extra or doing a little bit more to people, that doesn't make it make you better than everyone because you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? I do personal things as well too, like for the community when I can do it. But just because I do it, I'm not going to sit up here on my platform bragging about that I'm doing it, nor I'm not going to sit up here and post 50 million videos showing that I'm doing it. Because if I'm doing that thing, then I'm no different from what everybody else is doing, which is what we all said doing, which is being clout chasers.
Me to do it.
Okay, so I think that first of all, you brought some awareness to, I guess, the YouTube arena in regards to saying traded and coded. There have been some other people that came out and say, hey, I've been talking about it. Great. It never came across my channel. But again, once you stated that, I said, okay, this is some good stuff. This is some cool stuff. Let me share it. And I say this numerous times on my platform. If there's a content creator out there that has a message that has something to say, I share it to my community tab, because we all have different attributes. We all have different narratives that we're pushing, that we're saying this is for the greater good. So if you start talking about trading and coding and I pass that on, maybe you're going to be the source for that. I have no idea. But the thought process is, one video about trading and coding has nothing to do with going 3 months without talking about trading and coding.
Because
So
I've never went 3 months without talking about it. For one, I always shout out STEM. Number two, you're not a subscriber, so you don't see those videos. The people who are going to send you videos, and this is what you don't understand. The people, you're not in control of your own platform, because the people that are sending you videos, I guarantee you they're sending you videos about something that they don't like about what I said. Why don't you ask those people that, hey, I connected with this brother through trading and coding in the positive message. Why don't you guys send me something when he's talking the message that I want to hear? Instead of you sending me when he's talking about Gilbert, instead of you sending me when he's talking about Tammy, send me the videos that I resonate with when he's talking about trading and coding, and that's what I can get behind.
I think that was a little bit biased what you just said.
Why?
Because here's the thought process. You get videos on ToughLove that people say I'm sneak dissing in, but the good videos in reference to giving, like saying, okay, I agree with this point, which there's been points that I've agreed with. Those videos don't get sent to you. So the same thing you're saying for me, I would expect the same courtesy back and forth and say,
YouTube is sending me your videos, and I say not interested all the time. I've watched several of your videos where you were talking about me months back, and I ain't say a word. I ain't say nothing, because I knew what it was. It's like, okay, that's your opinion, cool. But it's like, when does your opinion stop on one man? Your opinion about me is repetitive. I don't have a repetitive opinion of Dwayne Wade. I don't have a repetitive opinion of anybody who's not talking about me. I can get on YouTube and talk about anything, and certain people are going to watch. And I think that's why people are jealous. I can get on the internet and just open up some packages that I just got from P.O. Box, and people are going to watch. And I don't care how many. I'm not the one complaining about.
Are you saying in front of your audience that my videos are solely based on Kwame Brown?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're the same as everybody else on YouTube. You figure out that the algorithms is going to watch what's popular, and you keep putting people's name in, framing it as, I'm not afraid. I call these people out. I put their name in. When you're not telling the truth, that benefits you to put a YouTuber's name that has bigger subscribers.
I think that I've said this numerous times. First of all, I'm gonna market my video the way everyone else markets their video. If you talk about Gilbert Arenas, Tommy Sotomayor, Dwayne Wayne, Charlamagne the God, all of these people have equal or to bigger subscribers to you, or have a bigger platform than you. So once you start talking about those people, there is no difference. So we're doing the same thing.
That's absolutely false.
Okay.
That's absolutely false.
So you don't put people's name in the titles, or you don't make the subject of the video about these people I just named.
What you should have asked was, why are you saying that's false? And then I can answer.
Well, I mean, if you say it's false, I would think you would follow up with the actual answer. Since
I'm trying to, but you tried to put a set of ideals out there for me to answer based on what you said. I'm saying it's false, and I would like you to pause for me to tell you why.
Cool, I'm pausing. Go
ahead. It's absolutely false, because everybody you named said something about me first. I've never spoken your name before you spoke mine.
Okay, all right. Once again, this is what I was talking about earlier about us as content creator, and I'm gonna keep re-emphasizing this over and over again. We as content creator, our number one job as content creator is what? Is for us to clout chase. This is what we're here for. This is what we do. That is why we on here. Once again, Kwame Brown is trying to tell ToughLove this is the reason why you do what you do, because you know that first of all, you had learned that you can use the YouTube algorithm to had either hashtag a name or put a name in there or in the title, whatever, and it's going to catch the algorithm because it is the most popular thing that's being talking about right now. You know that. So therefore, you are doing this because of what? Because you're doing it because you're clout chasing and you know it's going to give you the views that you're looking for. That's the reason why. Heck, I'm doing it right now. I know I done put Kwame Brown name in the title. I done put ToughLove name in the title, and I done hashtag both of them into the title. But the only difference is that I know what I'm doing, and I accept it for face value of what I'm doing because I know at the end of the day, this is YouTube. This is YouTube, and this is how this system works. And I'm doing what no other person is doing. I'm doing the exact same thing what every person is doing who's a content creator doing on YouTube, which is they're utilizing the system or the algorithm to push their narrative, to push their content, to push their art. So once again, I don't understand why ToughLove is having a problem with accepting that this is what he's doing. That's his reality of what he's doing. Furthermore, I don't understand why ToughLove is still trying to push that Kwame Brown should be talking about trading and coding throughout his videos, period. I don't understand that. When he originally showed up on the scene, he went viral talking about things in the NBA. He didn't say nothing about trading and coding when he first came on there. He was talking about the things that was happening in the NBA, what different people in the NBA was calling him a bust. That's what made him went viral, by him speaking out against it. It had nothing to do with trading and coding. He started talking about trading and coding later on down the line, but after that, it wasn't I'm sticking to trading and coding. My content is now named Kwame Brown, Trading and Coding Extraordinaire. He never said that. His platform name, Kwame Brown Bust Life, meaning that he's describing his life experiences every single day, which include trading and coding. Not that it's trading and coding by itself. And that's what Kwame Brown is trying to tell ToughLove. And that's where I'm still not understanding why he feel that Kwame Brown should be talking about the things that he want him to talk about. I still don't understand that. I don't know why this is a huge argument, why this is a huge push towards him, and why is this a disagreement as well towards him. You know what I'm saying? That's like me going onto either ToughLove platform or even Kwame Brown platform and say, hey, I need y'all to start talking about the official urban therapist. The official urban therapist talk about accountability all the time on this channel. So I want y'all to talk about accountability as well, because that's what I'm doing. And it's for the community. Like, how ridiculous would I sound by telling them that? How ridiculous would I sound? Telling these two grown men who are content creators that they should do things according to us how the way I want them to do it. Not even YouTube as the whole platform itself doesn't tell people what type of content that they should create. The only thing YouTube does is govern it to make sure that the content that you put out there is respectable. You're not stealing people ideals or stealing people art. Different things like that. That is abide by the local, state, and federal laws. That's it. That's all they're doing. But other than that, YouTube is not telling you that you should only put out programs talking about trading and coding, or you should only put out programs only talking about self-love, or you should put out programs only talking about beefing against black people, or whatever type of race or gender, wherever you want to put it. They're not saying that. They're not doing that at all.
It's not about who spoke whose name first. It's about what
That's
you just
your
said.
opinion. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Wait. You said there were no difference. You can't tell me it's not about that when you're stating a so-called fact saying there's no difference. There is a difference. The difference is everybody that you named that I spoke about me. You're speaking about me over and over again, and I never spoke about you, sir. There is a difference in that.
Then here's another thing too. He also bringing up the point that the only reason why he's doing these videos is because people did, like did different type of reaction videos on him, whatever. So he's speaking about it. You know what I'm saying? Which at the end of the day, it's your platform. You can do whatever you want to do with your platform. It's your platform. It's your art. But however, just as the same as I was getting on ToughLove about this level of accountability, this level of self-control, when I was getting on ToughLove, we're talking about these super chats and stuff, the same scenario and situation applies to you as well too, Kwame Brown. Some situations you don't have to do a reaction video about. You really don't. But the reason why you choose to do a reaction video is because of this. It's because of no different for what ToughLove is doing with you. It's because you are the quote unquote big dog over him. And by speaking, he know that by speaking his name, by speaking your name, it's going to create clout, it's going to create content. He know that. So that's why he do it. That's why he hashtag you in there. Same thing with you. When you do your reaction video, you do your reaction video with big people as well too. You wouldn't necessarily do a reaction video on a lower content creator. Say, example for myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm considered as a lower content creator. I only have only about 300 plus subs. So I'm considered as a low content creator. You want to do a reaction video on me as being a low content creator because it's not going to create a lot of clout that's going to benefit you. But if you were to do a reaction video on me, it's going to benefit me more than it's going to benefit you, because what's going to happen is that when you say things about me and you react to what I'm saying, through the psychology of it, people is going to go back and find out, what are you talking about? They're going to go back and find out. They're going to go start reviewing my content. They're going to want to listen to the things I say. They're going to take out certain clips about what I said. They're going to flip it, dissect it, and make it into their own personal narrative. There are going to be other content creators. They're going to do the same as that thing. Who is this official urban therapist guy? Who is he? Let me take out a certain segment stuff, and I'm going to want to talk about and do reaction videos. And so at the end of the day, it's benefit me more than it's benefiting you. So likewise, the same exact scenario. It's benefit when you talk about these bigger content creators that's even bigger over you. Guess who is benefiting? It's benefiting more of you because you're reacting to it. It's benefiting you more than it's benefiting them. Just like you were saying about the algorithm, you use the same exact algorithm, you do the same exact thing. You're using the same type of clout content. You're doing the same exact thing. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Mark. I'm aware of his former alias. but yeah, even then, to my understanding, even then, that's what happened with ToughLove. One day, I believe I'm just like say I'm speculating, but I believe that it was a point in time where ToughLove did a certain critique about Tommy Sotomayor. And he kept hashtagging them and hashtagging and hashtagging them. Now, Tommy Sotomayor is a different breed of a content creator, right? Meaning that he's so skilled into his profession that what he do, he'll literally go into his own personal YouTube, right? And he'll literally type in his own name. And when he type in his own name, he will see every person who hashtag him in a video. He'll see every person that did a video about him. And this is what he'll do. He'll go in there. If he agree with it, he'll go engage them. If he disagree with them, he'll go engage them. And I believe that one day that's what happened with him and ToughLove, that ToughLove kept on doing videos about him, hashtagging or hashtagging, until finally one day Tommy typed his name in, and who is this Mr. KTU guy? Who is he? And so he addressed it. And so when he addressed it, ToughLove ended up getting what he was looking for, which it was clout. Tommy Sotomayor picked it up. He started talking about it. He did a reaction video about it. And once again, who did it benefit more? Did it benefit Tommy more, or did it benefit ToughLove more? It benefited ToughLove more, because at that point, Tommy Sotomayor fans started going back like, let me find out who this person is. They go into his channel. They start reviewing his channel. They start reviewing his videos to see what he's talking about. Other content creators start taking certain segments out of this video, creating content off of that. Lower level content creators taking content off of ToughLove videos, and they're doing it. Same as that thing. But at the end of the day, everyone is still doing the same as that thing, which is clout chasing. So once again, that's why I don't understand why ToughLove is not accepting this. Nor in this particular segment, I don't understand why Kwame Brown is not accepting this too, that you're doing the same thing as well too. All of us is doing this. We all doing this. Let's accept it for what it is.
Yeah, but I don't need to wait for you to say something to me to have a perspective, though. There are numerous people that you don't even know on YouTube that do reaction videos that really go in and say a whole bunch of stuff. But I mean, again, that wasn't the original statement. It was, you are putting my name in videos, and I said, well, you're putting other people's name in videos. You're doing videos just like I'm doing videos.
Okay,
so you're marketing your videos for the algorithm as well.
I'm putting people's names in videos that talk about me. Gilbert Arenas just went on Instagram and wrote me dang near a dissertation, some shit he never did in college. So I responded on YouTube. I'm not going to respond on Instagram. And maybe you're not abreast and up on everything that goes on because you don't watch and you unsubscribe, but you're abreast to all of the negative things. And that's why I say you're biased. You can sit here and hold me.
And the reason why he mentioned that he doing it on YouTube instead of Instagram, because the algorithm on Instagram is different than the algorithm on YouTube. And that is a known fact. The algorithm on Instagram is the same algorithm that's on Facebook. Now, I also have addressed this on my other lives as well too, stated that this is the reason why I too much don't do a lot of my lives on Facebook, because the Facebook algorithm is different, where I don't know what it is. The Facebook algorithm is weird. You know what I'm saying? But the YouTube algorithm is different. So that's the reason why he navigated towards YouTube, because he knew that if he go on YouTube, he's going to get the clout that he's looking for. Period. It is what it is.
Be accountable, hold Skinny accountable, but then you'll run over in other people's chat that's saying everything that you claim not to like, and you're right there cheering it on.
Who chat did you see me cheering something?
I don't want to mention these guys' name, but you and I know.
I would say that's absolutely false. Anytime that wait.
Why is that? Okay.
Anytime that I've been in a chat and it's got to a point where it started getting disrespectful or whatever case be, I would leave. So you don't see me in there applauding, hitting 100 like, whatever, none of that. So that's a fact. So I've never done that.
Well, I'm just saying, you said I have respect for certain YouTubers, and these YouTubers are the most disrespectful people in the world.
But you say certain. Hold on, you can't say certain and then say these YouTubers are the most disrespectful.
Because there's more than one.
Again, anyone that you have a personal situation with.
It's not personal. I don't know these people.
A YouTube issue.
All of this is algorithms. This is not an issue.
Cool.
These guys want algorithms, and that's why you.
What I'm saying is, don't include me in that. I have nothing to do with that.
I think you do. I think you do the same thing these other guys do. If I was to go back down to a 1,000 subscriber YouTuber, you would make videos about me laughing or saying he's down to 1,000. You're gonna forever.
When have you heard? See, here's the thing, Kwame, and I really want to make sure that this stays even for you. You know what I'm saying? And for me as well. When have you heard me say that you're losing subscribers? When have you ever heard me say that?
I didn't say that for that to be the point. I didn't say that
But you're making statements as if I'm saying it. You said I would laugh.
I can tell you why I said that statement if that's what you want to know.
Yeah, but you're making statements that have nothing to do with me.
Okay, I'm saying that I have nothing to do with you, but you bring my name up multiple times a month with my name in the title. And you're talking about the things that I'm saying and doing on almost a weekly basis. When I have an opinion of another man, when I have an opinion of another man, I state my opinion. My opinion don't mean shit. Okay. My opinion of Dwayne Wade and what he had going on, it's just that. I didn't say, hey, here's my opinion and this is a fact. I said, in my opinion, sir, you let your woman run you. I kept it as that.
So you don't think that's disrespectful?
I don't think. I said that's my opinion.
Right. You don't think your opinion is disrespectful?
No, I don't. I think it's just an opinion. I can take it. He can take it as disrespect, or he can take it as just an opinion.
Okay.
Why not? It's just an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want
the same thing that you got. The same things that you guys say to me, and most people say to me, I'm a public figure. You put things in the public. He's supposed to be talked about. Dwayne Wade is a public figure. Mm-hmm. That dress jersey dropped on the day that was a teammate of mine. I didn't mention about a child. I mentioned the jersey, a representation of a heterosexual man. You guys can try to sway it into whatever.
But you also mentioned his wife, though.
But you guys,
what is his wife?
I finish the statement though, and then I'll answer your question. You guys can try to sway it to whatever you want, but my words are on the internet, and I challenge the man. Whether you like that opinion or not, I stand on it. It's just an opinion. I challenge the man. Just like everybody else has an opinion of me, I challenge the man with my opinion. That's it. Now, what was your question?
Okay. My piece is that I felt like the whole Dwayne Wade situation that you made a statement on, it was just interesting because if we don't hold other men accountable, why are we giving our perspective on what's going on in a man's household?
You keep liking to use the word accountability, and I think you get upset and thinking that just because you state your opinion, you're holding a man accountable. When I hold somebody accountable, then I think like I hold my son accountable. He owes me a conversation back. He better say something back to me because I'm his father. You are a stranger to me. You can't hold me accountable because you don't hold no authority over me. I don't owe you nothing.
Is Dwayne Wade a stranger to you?
He don't.
Okay. Now there's this part of him talking about this whole accountability thing. Now I want to bring a different perspective about this too, because I use whenever on my platform I use the word accountability as well too. All right, so I want to bring some clarification on this. All right, whenever a person is speaking about accountability, normally accountability is dealing with any type of either negative behavior that person is doing and it's causing emotional harm towards not only themselves, but it also could cause emotional harm towards their loved ones and also the community as well too. That's when they're talking about accountability. All right. Accountability could also be swayed into something positive as well. You could be held accountable for positive things too, as well. Absolutely, you can. But sometimes people like to, as we say, people like to use words sometimes, and they like to use words a lot because the word may be popular. The word makes sound good while they're using it. But at the end of the day, sometimes people will use the words with the wrong usage or the wrong meaning behind it without giving clarity or giving perspective about why they say what they say. All right. So, with that being said about accountability, all right, Kwame Brown mentioned that he was getting the example that his son owes him accountability because he's his father. He better do it because he's his father. Now, that right there, I have to agree to disagree with that. Part of it I agree, part of it I disagree. And this is coming from me being a father. I only hold my children accountable once again for certain said behavior that they're resembling at that particular moment. That's it. I don't hold them accountable for every little thing that I say to them. Or if I'm having, like, say for example, um, my son is coming in from school, right? My son coming in from school, and I say, "Hey, son, how's your day at school?" I don't feel like talking. My son say, "I don't feel like talking about it." He go in his room and shut the door. Now, with that same logic that Kwame Brown's saying, right? I should be furious because he didn't answer the question according towards how the way I wanted him to. So I'm going to hold him accountable for that because I'm perceiving that as being a negative behavior on me, and I take it personal because I'm his father. That is wrong. And the reason why is because you don't, in that same scenario, you don't know what probably happened to him for him to be into that certain space, and he don't want to tell you. He just don't want to talk about it. He being human. He don't want to talk about it at the moment. Now, my response as a parent is that, hold up. Normally, he would talk to me about a lot of things that happened with him, but this particular time, he don't want to talk about it. Obviously, there's something going on with him. So what I'm going to do as a parent, I'm not going to say, I'm going to hold him accountable. Why you didn't talk to me? Why you didn't acknowledge me? Because I'm your father. Instead of me doing that, I'm going to recognize that there a certain type of situation that happened and he need his personal space at the moment. Maybe later we'll have the conversation. Maybe we won't have the conversation. But it's up to me as the parent to understand that and to accept that. So yeah, so that part about where he's talking about that accountability, I didn't agree with that. No, not at all. Nope, not at all. Well, y'all gonna hear it.
I keep saying it was just my opinion, sir.
I got you. So my thought
process. He don't owe me an answer. He don't owe me nothing.
Cool. So you giving your opinion on a public figure and someone giving their opinion on you, why is that not looked at as the same thing? Because this is something
you gave your opinion once, twice, last month, last year, several times
on different topics.
You can't
on different topics.
Well, I can talk about different Dwayne Wade on different topics then. But what I'm saying is when you give a man that much attention, I'm not giving one man that much attention. I said what I said about Russell Westbrook. And I haven't mentioned his dress ever since. I haven't mentioned the way he dressed ever since. A man got a right to state his opinion and move on. When you keep talking about one man over and over and over again and why people follow him, placing yourself in that man's shoes, doing all what you're doing, you're going over the opinion now.
The thing about it is this is what happens when this is what happens when we kind of get on our rants a little bit.
That's not a rant. You're literally comparing yourself to me.
No, you said
okay, go ahead. Because I want to get back to that. I don't understand how you're saying if I was the number one pick, I would do this. I don't understand how that's not a comparison.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. You're making this like this a thing, and it's really not a thing. If you was the number one, what you are, you're the number one draft pick or whatever. So you're telling me that
it's not whatever. That's what I am. It's not whatever. That's what I am. Or was.
Okay, so was. Okay, so when people are being honored, I would think that you would be in the vicinity of your peers or former players or future players or whatever case would be, say, hey, congratulations, good job, standing with them. So I'm saying, all right, my perspective, hey, why didn't we see that? Why don't we see that?
Because I didn't
my perspective.
I didn't want to do that. Like,
okay, cool. And that's fine.
Because what I'm saying is my thought process is somebody else being honored has nothing to do with me. I can respect you and salute you from afar. I got Allen Iverson's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know if I respected and saluted him on his phone. I don't have to be there and put myself at risk. Everybody's trying to get this bus in the Dulo twist. I don't have to be there present. I haven't, you can't find, I can see you would have a point if I switched it up after I went viral. I didn't switch it up. You can't find the last 10, 15 All-Star games that I was at. I'm not there. That's not me.
The question is really, are you accepted by your peers? That's really what it is. Are you accepted by your peers? Do they respect you as being one hell of an N-word as you promote yourself here on social media with people that are probably earning less than $50,000 a year? What about the people that's earning millions of dollars a year? Are these people saying, yeah, Kwame Brown, yeah, he's one hell of an N-word? Or is that just something we say here on YouTube? So that was the whole synopsis of that. And I'm sure a lot of people can sit back and understand, okay, well, yeah, do they respect you or do they not? Do you respect them or do you not?
So your message to kids is, if you feel that you're something, if somebody else come back and say that you're not because they're a peer, then I'm supposed to take on their thoughts?
No, the thing about it is it would be more reasonable to say, not only do I feel this way here on YouTube, but I feel this way in real life around other people that are being honored as being one hell of an N-word.
So they're being honored by being a hell of an N-word because of the way they played a basketball game?
Yes.
And what I said that, okay, so all of the reasons why I said I was a hell of a nigga, did basketball come up one time?
You getting drafted should have came up. Getting drafted is a part of that equation, isn't it?
Okay, but did you hear why I said I was a hell
I heard why you said it, but if you're not
so without swaying the narrative, why did I say I was a hell of a nigga?
I heard what you said, man.
So why did I say I was a hell of a nigga?
I heard what you said.
I just want to make sure we can be clear so you don't put your set of ideals and beliefs onto me. Because what I said, the reason why I was a hell of a nigga should stand alone. It had nothing to do with basketball. Yes, being drafted the #1 draft pick is a part of it because I made history. But
yeah,
the reason why
I just said that, Kwame.
That didn't have nothing
to do. I just said what you just said.
I understand that, but you won't let me say why I said I was a hell of a nigga. I asked you to repeat it. You didn't repeat it.
You stated that. You've already stated it earlier. Why you said that?
Are you going to say what I said or not? Because if you're not, then I can say it.
The first thing I said. I heard it, but go ahead.
Okay, hold on. The first reason that I gave that I was a hell of a nigga was #1 was because I bought my mother a house. Where's basketball in that statement? #2, I said
your mother a house with the money you got from being drafted.
But that's your opinion. I'm going off of what I said. Stop trying to.
Is it an opinion or is it a fact?
Sir, I'm the one who came up with the phrase hell of a nigga, correct? Yes or no? You won't answer one of my questions. Yes or no?
Kwame, I'm answering all your questions.
I'm just asking. This is a yes or no question. I'm not doing anything. This is a yes or no question.
Okay.
Am I the one who came up? There's no way to get around this one. Am I the one who came up with the phrase hell of a nigga?
As far as I know, yeah. As far as I know.
Okay,
oh my God. Now, ToughLove, to be honest with you, your response should have been, hell no. You is not the only one who came up with that term, hell of a nigga. Everyone says that. Everyone says that they're a hell of a nigga. I've been saying that since I was little. So no, you're not the first one who coined hell of a nigga. You're not. That term been around through centuries. It's been around. So just because you're a content creator now who have certain accolades, and that certain word has more significance towards you and your subscribers, that doesn't mean that it haven't been around. All you did is took a wheel that was already being created and you just added on to it. That's all you did. That's all you did. But other than that, no, you didn't create that term. It always been around. Everyone always say that. That being around. So in that situation, yeah, ToughLove, I would have told her, like, bro, you tripping. So you mean to tell me that you just sit up here invented a whole new phrase on your own? Just like you saying bus life. I bet he's saying that bus life is his phrase now. I bet he's saying Dulo Twist is his phrase too, huh? With all these different phrases been around, but all they did is it being reinvented. The wheel has been reinvented again. But it still had the same significance of it. So I'm just saying.
Of course, you know, I said I'm a hell of a nigga. This is what you're talking to me about, what I said. And the definition that I gave for me being a hell of a nigga was nothing to do with basketball. I said because I bought my mother a house, because I'm not a liability to anyone, and because I made a way out of no way out of the cheese line and made history. Basketball was the last reference. It's just a fucking game.
If you reference it, it doesn't discount where you put it at.
Whether I say first, middle, or end, you're not going to put it at the top of the list, sir. You're not going to frame it and put it at the top of the list. My number one thing that I said what made me a hell of a nigga is because I bought my mother a house on a golf course. You can't find a video that say anything other than that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the...
And another thing, regardless, I could stand next to MJ, Jerry Stackhouse, Allen Iverson, and whoever else, and they'll tell you that I walk and I talk like I'm a hell of a nigga around them. And whether they agree or not, that's not going to waver my belief in myself. You believe in tough love. I believe in self-love. I'm my number one fan. And if I'm not going to be my number one fan, I can't get nothing accomplished. Nothing.
Okay. And here's another part too. And I'll actually say a lot of other content creator and subs really gravitate towards what Kwame Brown said when he talking about he believes in tough love, believes in tough love while he believes in self-love. Everybody was championing that, yay, and you know, doing all that. Now I know without a shadow of doubt that the reason why Tough Love say tough love because that is a part of his brand name. It's a catchphrase. Just like hell of a nigga is a catchphrase. It's a phrase. Tough love has been around for centuries, just like hell of a nigga been around for centuries as well too. Because that's a catchphrase. It's just what it is. It ain't something that Tough Love invented. It been around. But he just using it as a form of a marketing tool. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, Kwame, is it not Tough Love platform talking about self-love? Through the content that I done seen on Tough Love platform, that's what he's really talking about. When he's challenging people about certain accountability, he's challenging about these other things and stuff, right? Is he not talking about self-love? Is that not the whole point of it? Now, the tough love aspect of it is a marketing tool because it's catchy. And it's also a catchy phrase to engage the viewer to have the conversation. It is what it is, right? But yeah, I just wanted to address that because, yeah, like I was on YouTube, I seen a lot of people want to champion his own phrase and stuff like that. He did it, to be honest with you, he didn't say nothing remarkable. He didn't say nothing that deserves a Maya Angelou quote. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing significant about that at all, period. But, you know, I digress. That's neither here nor there, gay, but I digress as well.
So you're not going to tell me that because somebody played a game better than me and their opinion on whether I'm a hell of a nigga or not is validated through their opinion, sir.
Okay.
So if that was your plight,
if your peers don't see you, like if you're not,
you said they don't do it. Just because I'm not having an internet show for you, just because I didn't go there, now your belief is that they don't value me. But if I show you my DMs on Instagram, The who's who of who you like will be right in my DMs talking to me every day.
Okay. So I think the question was more along the lines of, do these guys see you as you see yourself that will call your peers? That's
between me and these guys. I can't a lot of people pull up on Allen Iverson at a hotel with all his jewelry on, and he put his arm around you and say, "I love this nigga." Can't a lot of people do that. Can't a lot of NBA players. You can't do it. Can't a lot of people do that.
Okay. Allen Iverson don't represent the rest of the players though.
Allen Iverson was one of the guys you named. You said he was top 75. I saw him before he got into top 75.
I didn't say Allen Iverson name one time. Not one time.
Allen Iverson is one of the gentlemen that were honored at the All-Star game.
Again, I didn't say it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, let me remind you. He was there at the All-Star game. He was top 75. He's a pure mind. What did he say? Did you see that live or did you miss that one?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you. If you want to see that live, we're in a hotel room. He has all his jewelry. He has all his friends, his peers. I went to his house in Detroit, met his family, his wife, his children. So, yeah, if you're going to bring me around your kids, that's an honor to me.
Definitely. It should be considered one. Definitely.
But what my question is, why does that matter to you?
Well, it matters to me if you're saying if you're promoting an image on social media and you're saying you're one hell of an N-word, the thought process is, do the people where you played at, the organization you come from, do they believe that to be true as well? I mean, I think that's to me, it's a logical question. It's a simple question. So if I talk about the brigade I belong to, the unit I belong to, hey, were you that leader in that unit? I can say, yes, I was. I have the evaluations to prove that. So when I ask you what the organization that you belong to, which was the NBA for the time that you were there, do they believe that you were one hell of an N-word? To me, it's real.
I don't belong to the NBA. I'm a grown ass man and I got kids. I don't belong to the NBA.
My question to ToughLove about this is that why do that matter? Why do his accolades matter so much to you? Why is that so important for him to acknowledge that? Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what people think about you, or where people perceive you to be. At the end of the day, it don't matter. However, unless you are one of them type of people where you, the only way you feel that you're important is for people to acknowledge you. If you're one of them type of people, then yeah, this matters a lot to you. That I have to have people acknowledge me. I have to have people acknowledge my accolades and different things like that. This is the same thing, what Kevin Samuels was making a point about and stuff when he's talking about women and they go through, go through college, they get these different degrees and different things like that, you know what I'm saying? And they want the men to acknowledge the fact that they're now PhDs, they're now professional. They want men to acknowledge them, not for the point that they were just doing it just for themselves for quote unquote self-love purposes, you know what I'm saying? But they want men to accept them, which it shouldn't matter, right? It shouldn't matter at all. If you're doing it for you, it doesn't matter about what people say unless you want people to acknowledge you. That's the point that I'm making about this. And I'm going to make another point about what I was going to say about this too, what Kwame said too.
Okay,
I disagree.
You didn't belong to that organization?
I do not belong to the NBA.
I said you didn't belong.
Huh?
I said, did you belong to that organization?
No, I played basketball and I received a check for it. That was a job. So.
You don't, okay. The job, the organization is not the same thing? Where they paid you at, the organization?
So a guy who
works is an organization.
Let me ask you this. So is that just for celebrities or is that for everybody across the board? So if a guy works at Huddle House, he belongs to Huddle House?
He belongs to the organization, yes. He represents the organization. When you're introduced, are you introduced as the former NBA player, #1 draft pick?
No, I'm asking you.
No.
I identify as a man. I don't give a damn what somebody else said. You asked Kwame Brown a question. I'm just a man. I'm not a celebrity. I don't belong to anybody. Those are sets of ideals and a social construct that you're trying to place on me, sir. I'm a man. When I came out my mama's womb, I didn't come out of her womb with a basketball. I came out of her womb with my brain, my balls, my fingers and toes, and ambition. So I don't belong to anybody. So I just don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh goodness. Okay, ToughLove. I got your back on this one. I got your back on this one. All right. Okay. Kwame, you sitting up here dancing around the question that he asked. It was a very simple question, bro. And the answer is yes, you do. You are involved with some type of set organization. Period. Heck, all of us is a part of some type of set organization. Period. You can't go and just say, I identify as a man. No, that's not gonna fly. Imagine you going up to imagine you putting in your information to sign up as a YouTube content creator, since this is your current profession right now. Imagine you putting your information in there and they give you all the rules and regulation about YouTube, about the organization. Well, when you're filling out the information to be a part of YouTube, you are a part of the organization. Kwame Brown, what are you doing is that you're signing a legal binding document. What are you doing is that you're signing a contract stating that you are a part of the organization. So you can't say, I'm on YouTube and I'm just a man on YouTube. No, you are technically, you are a employee of YouTube, if you want to look at it that way, by you signing a contract with YouTube. You are a employee of YouTube. This is the reason why when situations happen, YouTube have the right to take away your channel, is because you sign a contract with them stating that you are not only a employee with YouTube, but you abide by they policies and statutes of YouTube. Even if they set policy and statutes goes against the actual federal regulations or the law, you still sign the contract that you are a employee of the company. So in other words, you're representing YouTube. When people see your content, guess what's the first thing they see? They don't see Kwame Brown Bust Life. Guess what they see? YouTube. They see YouTube first. Then they see the employee who's a representative of YouTube, which is, in this case, you. So yes, you are a part of an organization. When you're an NBA basketball player, you sign a contract as well, stating that you are an employee of that company. Even when you no longer play for that company, you sign a contract of a waiver saying that there's certain things that the NBA can use that you took part of, such as games, such as interviews. This is the reason why people like Stephen A. Smith could go back and do an interview of a game that you did back in 2020 or 2005, whatever, because you are an employee of the NBA. You signed a contract, you signed a waiver, you signed the agreement, all these different things. You did that. You did that. So technically, you still are tethered to the NBA because you signed the contract of being tethered to the NBA. So yes, you are an employee. You're not just this entity on your own. And I put it to you this way too. I put it to you this way too as well. There are many content creators who are on YouTube right now. They have figured that since they figured that YouTube is treating them like a quote unquote employee, Guess what certain content creators had done? They took it and they separated themselves from the contract by declaring themselves as a LLC, meaning that they're their own private entity. And there's a reason why they did it. Because they didn't want to be considered as solely as a YouTube partner. Well, let me put it this way. They wanted to be a YouTube partner, so that's why they became a LLC, a separate entity of themselves. They did no longer want to be considered as a employee of YouTube, but rather now they're more of a contractor with YouTube. So there are a lot of content creators who are like that. But there are other content creators who are just on YouTube and there are employees of YouTube because they're part of the organization. So yeah, you are in part of the organization. You're not this separate entity unless you sign the LLC. But I digress because if that be the case, if you did sign the LLC, you separated yourself from them, where you're your private owned company entity that's contracted with you too, then you wouldn't have made a statement talking about I'm just a man. You wouldn't have said it. You had clearly told ToughLove, no, I'm not an employee of YouTube because I have an LLC. This is my personal business. I have an LLC. You had said that. But I digress.
Okay.
I just don't understand. So if you believe and you feel and you hold yourself in high regards, are you saying that your message is that if somebody else don't feel like you feel like you're the way you feel about yourself, if somebody else don't agree with you, you're supposed to take on the other person's attitude about yourself? Or are you supposed to walk in your own purpose and believe what you believe about yourself?
I guess that would be no. No one preaches. I don't know who would preach that. That's you should care about yourself more than other people care about yourself. But it's also care. You also should care about what it is that you project and what you're promoting.
What am I promoting?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm here. I'm here for you to listen to what you got to ask.
Well, I'm doing some things that no other YouTuber, especially not a detractor, is doing. They're not promoting small businesses like me. They're not promoting trading and coding in schools like me. They're not donating to YouTubers that they don't know like me. They're not allowing people to come up on a platform and let them shout out their channels, do all that. Most YouTubers that reach my level of success, especially so fast, they act like they don't know niggas. So it's funny how you're asking me what I promote when you can ask other YouTubers what they're benefiting off just being positive. It ain't about all talk. Yeah, the jokes is funny. Yeah, the message, some of you guys want to make it sound good. But I said from day one what I was doing. I said, I'm going to give you a little bit of jokes and laughter because that's what society has gone to. You're not going to hold people attention with your tough love message unless you're putting bigger people in the title that people don't like. I'm just telling you, that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Cool.
My opinion is they're not going to watch unless you're talking about somebody they don't like. And I think you're well aware of that. That's why you continue to circle the wagon on people like myself and people, the go along, get along game that you claim I created and that you guys talk about every day. That's just horrible. A guy came to the internet talking about trading and coding. And the fact that you guys can't say and rally behind that, yes, it's not benefiting Kwame to have trading and coding in schools. I'm out of school. So to have a guy come up here saying, I'm going to debate this NBA player about trading and coding. No, the energy should have been, I get it. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that went to prison and then they learned to trade after all those years they wasted away in somebody's jail cell. They have it set up for our young men and women to go to.
why he going into this rant about trading and coding and how the way the system is and blah 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 blah. I find it interesting that just a few moments ago he just mentioned that he's not part of the organization. He is his own man, but yet and still he will quickly revert back to him being an NBA player. If you're not part of the system, then you're not part of the system. Then don't um, utilize the benefits of the system. If that be the case, if you identify yourself as a man, you this whole separate entity, then stay in your lane about you being a man. Don't reference the NBA. Don't reference that you're a bust. Matter of fact, change your channel and say that you're no longer a bust light because that came from the system of the NBA. That came from all the different interviews with Stephen A. Smith and all the rest of them and different NBA players who gave you that title. If that be the case, you can't even use that title because that's part of the system that you're saying that you're no longer a part of. If you're no longer part of it, don't use none of that. Don't use a period.
Prison. That's what our job is right now, to keep this economy going by rapping, entertaining, and going to prison. And that's a fact. I used to invest in private prisons, so I know what I'm talking about. People that look like you and me are designed to go to these prisons. So don't you think it'll be a better situation if young men...
Now the response question with ToughLove, but I could tell, before I say that, I could tell just by looking at ToughLove body language that he's becoming highly triggered now instead of staying focused. Because the follow-up question he should have had asked, rather he should have had challenged Kwame Brown on him talking about he used to fund the federal prison system. He should have had challenged him on that and asked like, okay, why would you fund the prison system? What was the purpose behind that? That's what he should have asked him. But he just let that one go over his head because now he's up in his feelings. He's triggered because he's trying his best to get Kwame Brown to be in his belief system. He's trying to get Kwame Brown to be, I don't know, ToughLove Jr., however way it is. That's what he's trying to do. Or at least that's what he's trying to portray that he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just my perspective on that. You know what I mean?
At 17, 18 years old, had electrician certificates under their belt, plumbing, and whatever else they decide to do, carpentry. Don't you think there'll be a better society if these guys had skills? Instead of arguing with me, would it be a better situation for our young men and women?
And also, just to clarify this as well, too, there are, as of right now, there are many type of programs that are out right now, as he called trading and coding. They have these programs out right now. I don't understand why Kwame Brown keep mentioning it as though these programs no longer exist. They exist, but they exist in certain districts. They exist in certain schools. Most of them exist in private sectors, in private school districts, or they exist in more wealthier school system. But just like I mentioned earlier, the reason why they exist the way it is not because of the government, not because the government or the president or anything like that. It's because of the parents. It's because the parents was not engaging into the PTA system. They wasn't engaging into the educational system, nor they wasn't engaging into the simple thing of going out and voting for these set people to be part of the school board to represent you. So the accountability part is with the parents, like I stated earlier. So these things, they exist. They still exist. There may be lower level. Lower level is a bad term. There may be lower income school districts that probably don't have these, that probably no longer have these programs as elective, like I stated earlier. Because at one point in time, they did have these programs at electives. There wasn't a curriculum, a required course. It was as elective. So to cut budget costs, they get rid of these certain trading and coding programs. You know what I'm saying? But other more wealthier school districts, they have them.
Yeah, I do.
So why can't we
So
all rally
I
around
mean,
that fact?
you asked me a question.
What I'm saying is, let's take it a step further. Let's come off the internet and let's all go. I'll come to Houston when you get 50 men to go down and say, we want this in schools. And then you come to other neighborhoods, like I was in New York. Like I go with Angela to every neighborhood. You come and go with us to these neighborhoods and come off of YouTube. YouTube ain't gonna get a motherfucking thing done. It's not. It's just us talking. And then we get a check at the end of the month. But the fact of the matter is, you got to come off YouTube to get the work done.
So, okay, cool. Come off of YouTube. So while we're on YouTube, because I heard you say something about, how mass media is promoting these images for our youth. And my thought process is, do you feel like you're a part of media?
I'm a part of media now.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So my thought process is the same way that we feel, or the same way that I feel that mass.
Kwame, oh my goodness, Kwame, you always been part of media, bro. But I digress. But yeah, you always been part of media. You always been part of media. You always been a part of media. That's the whole purpose of you becoming an NBA player. The NBA is part of media. It's part of entertainment. It ain't something that you just decide to do as of now.
Media is responsible for putting out images and doing a lot of negative stuff. I feel like YouTube channels do the same thing. So the same way that we address mass media is the same way I kind of look at individual YouTube channels. So the only thing I could do is address it, and they can ignore it, say F you, or whatever the case may be. So the only thing I could do is address it. So once we get to a point where there's a bypass, where they say, okay, well, hey, you go that way, I go this way, then it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, if your channel is bigger than my channel, or bigger than, I guess, the average YouTuber, of course, a lot of that onus is going to fall on you, because of a lot of people are coming to watch you. So they may miss the trading and coding and get the drama and gossip. So my thought process is, well, maybe I should reach out. Maybe I should. I don't have a phone number. Maybe I should do a video and say, hey, man, let's get back to that consistency level. So if that's something that kind of seems odd to you, then, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It
seemed odd to me, because I don't agree with everything Brother Charleston White say, but I'm a strong believer in that a lot of people just want to run their mouth. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people spend their time critiquing other people because they actually do nothing. And what I'm saying is, you can't expect me to just sit on YouTube and say the same thing over and over again. I couldn't look myself in the mirror if I do that. And despite whether I'm doing drama or laughing and joking, I take whatever funds, whether they donate or whatever. You've seen what I've done, whether people agree with the shoe drive and how it was done and what type of shoes. I've always given back. I've been consistent with it. That's just in me. When you come from a cheese line, like I'm a strong person that makes sure you do the work yourself. But if you need a hand up in order to help you do the work, then I feel like that's my job. I feel like that's your job, not to sit on YouTube and tell.
So I have a question now. He been referencing about this cheese line thing. What is he talking about? Because I've been listening to him keep referencing this over and over again, and I still really don't have a full understanding of what he's talking about for as a cheese line. Is he talking about for us him being working from the bottom and working his way up to where he's at right now? What is he talking about? Because I really don't have a full understanding about this cheese line thing.
Others what to do, but to come from off YouTube and actually show your work in real life.
I think the issue is that the things that I do off of YouTube is not to me.
Why not show them?
Okay, so I'm involved in the fellowship program here in the local prison, helping hands who go out and help the homeless. There's a lot of things I don't feel like a video camera is. First of all, you can't do it in a fellowship program, but I can't take a video camera inside it. The only thing I can do is speak on it. So there's a lot of times you'll catch me in a car because I'm on my way going somewhere or coming back from somewhere. But the thought process is, if you come, I believe your content is your character. So if you're being consistent, because you say, the fake positive and this and this, my thought process is, hey, can we just push a narrative where we are trying to build, where we are trying to make sure that we keep our ducks in a row on what we're doing? It's great that you go in the community and you do what's at your status level to do. If you can fly every weekend or you can go here and do that, whatever. I'm talking about my immediate community.
Okay. Oh, goodness, tough love. Jeez Louise. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at gay comment as well too. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Keyshawn. I don't know because I've been trying to figure this out since I've been viewing this video, where he's coming from, using these lines to my cheese line and all stuff there instead of just saying what he mean. You know what I mean? Using all these word references. But I digress. Now what you want, tough love. All right, bro. Once again, you're starting to go back into this whole narrative that you want Kwame Brown to perceive and think things how the way you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? You want him to talk about certain things the same as what you're doing, which I stated earlier that y'all are two totally different people, two totally different content creators. All right. So here's my question on this too. On tough love. Here's my question. Okay. Now I know that throughout your lifetime, I know that this is a 100% fact statement that I'm gonna say. I know throughout your lifetime you have been to movies, right? And you have watched either action movies, dramas, any type of movie for entertainment purposes, right? When you're looking at these movies, do you go and look at the actors in the movie and say, hey, you just killed somebody in that movie. I want you to be held accountable and I want you to go out to the community and serve your community. Do you look at them in that aspect or do you take them as face value of who they are, which they're actors? And do you take face value of what you're viewing, which at the end of the day is entertainment? I'm pretty sure that you take it as entertainment. Man, this dude just blew this dude head off. Oh, but it's entertainment. It's cool. I don't judge that. There ain't nothing wrong with that because it's entertainment. Likewise, once again, with YouTube, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of the YouTube platform is what? Entertainment. It's what it is. There's no way around it. No matter how hard we try to dress YouTube to make it seem like it could be something straight positive all the time, the reality is that it is not that. It wasn't designed to be that way. YouTube was designed to be neutral. Either you could create positive content or you could create negative content. Either you could clout chase something positive, you could clout chase something negative. You could create what is known as sectors, or you don't have to be a sector. All these different scenarios could happen within YouTube. Now, the whole point about it is that do we agree about these certain said things? Some we agree about, some we don't agree about. I stated that earlier in the show that there are certain things even within YouTube that I agree about. Such in cases like the beef sector and the tea sector, stuff like that. I don't agree with the stuff that happened over there. But just because I don't agree with the stuff over there, that doesn't mean I'm trying to change the whole entire machine into my own personal likeness. That is not what I'm doing. All I'm doing is addressing a certain concern. That's it. And addressing the behavior behind it. Like, hey, the reason why I view it this way because of X, Y, and Z. That is doing negative things towards people. It's causing these negative situations to happen towards people. So I'm expressing that. But I'm not saying, let's change YouTube altogether. Instead of YouTube, we're going to call it UrbanTube. I'm not changing it at all. And once again, that's the point that I keep re-emphasizing with Tough Love is that you cannot manipulate a person to the likeness that you want to do, because when you do things like that, you're manipulating, you're controlling a person, and also, like I stated in my last live about this, is that you're borderlining becoming a narcissist as well too, where you want to be in control of everything. Everything got to be the way you want it to be. That is not fair. That's not a fair assessment at all, period.
So those are the things that are affecting my immediate community. So if you're doing things at a greater level or greater speed, that's great. I think there's a lot of people that should join that. But I do know a lot of people that are at the fellowship programs down under the bridge when we giving out, you know what I'm saying, soup and jackets and stuff like that. They're not videotaping that stuff. So the things that I'm involved with, it's not about videotape. Maybe when I do the Big Brother thing, maybe I could do that. When I'm going to the flag football game, maybe I could do that. But I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things that you're not videotaping, because to me it would definitely be disingenuous. You see what I'm saying? And based on wherever you going, whatever little building you're going into, they don't allow you to take phones past a certain thing. So I'm just giving you that feedback on me. And I think your backstory is phenomenal, but I think we all have a backstory where it helped make and shape and fold us to be who we are right now. So with me, foster homes, you know what I'm saying? Juvie, you know what I'm saying? I entered the military in a foster home, did 20 years, got my master's degree. So I feel like we all got one hell of a story. My mom, my dad, they all passed before I, was an actual an adult. So I wasn't buying nobody, no houses or nothing like that. But I think I achieved a lot for what it is that I've done. So again, salute to you and what you've accomplished. And then me, not trying to take away from that. If anything, just to say, hey, hit you on the shoulder and say, bro, let's get back to that trading the coding or whatever you feel like you're doing on the outside of you.
All right, so a lot of this stuff, other than him talking about, we need to get back to the trading code report. I do agree with ToughLove on this. I'm also a advocate as well, where I'm at too, where I didn't went to I done been to a homeless shelter. I done gave out food. I was part of food drives and doing other things and stuff too that I necessarily don't put out there on my platform. And the reason why I don't put it out there on my platform is based on what ToughLove said, because at the end of the day, when you do things like that, you immediately be viewed as being disingenuous. In other words, all you're looking for is what I stated earlier as well too. You're looking for validation. You want people to acknowledge you that you're doing these things, rather than saying, forget these people. I'm not trying to impress these people. The only person I'm trying to impress is me, myself, because this dealing with self-love, period. This is part of who I am, period. So yeah, there are a lot of things that I also had did. ToughLove, he's in Houston. I know about the one he was saying the Helping Hands. I know about them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Good organization. I done help out with them. I done help out with other organizations in Texas as well too and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Helped our community. I've been part of mentorship programs and stuff. Be part of certain mentorship programs and stuff as well too, when I had the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? I done donated, did all these different type of things, but I'm not on my platform literally holding a camera out while I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? A matter of fact, now that I think about it, I think the only time I ever did that is when I was first starting off doing it. It was a matter of, yeah. It was a long time ago when I first did it. I remember it was years ago. I had took my camera out, right, and I seen this guy at the bus station right next to 7-Eleven every single day. But this particular day, it was extremely cold and stuff, right? And so on this day, I was doing my normal recording or whatever and stuff like that, right? And I was gonna put it on Facebook and stuff, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to record this dude. I'm gonna go into a 7-Eleven. I'm gonna want to get him something to eat. I'm gonna want to get him some coffee, something to eat, and all stuff there. And I'm gonna just hand it to him, and I'm gonna have a conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? So I did it. I went on and did that. You know what I'm saying? I was recording the whole entire conversation that we had, you know, thing. This dude, he was telling me that he landed on hard times. He was from Atlanta, but he ended up in Texas, trying to live for the dream. He had a dream of becoming an actor to blow up just like, not just an actor, but a producer like Tyler Perry. That was his goal. But something had happened with his transition between Atlanta and coming to Dallas at the time. You know what I'm saying? Something happened and he ended up being out on the street since then. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling me about his story. I'm recording the whole entire thing. And first, in my mind, I'm thinking like, man, this is good content. I'm putting it out on content and people are going to see that I'm helping this person. But right after when I did that and I posted it, right, people started giving me feedback about it and stuff, right? And keep in mind, back in then, this is where I wanted people to acknowledge me. I wanted people to accept me during that time. So people was giving me feedback. I'm thinking that I did a great thing. People give me feedback. But the feedback that people was giving me was something that I wasn't expecting. A lot of feedback that people was giving me, they're saying, bro, man, you need to take that video down, man. You being disingenuous. All it is that you want people to see that, you know, you just this type of guy and all the stuff there, what you did was wrong, all this different thing. And I'm thinking I did a great thing. I'm thinking that I literally did a great thing. But after that, I started, that's when I first started learning about holding myself accountable about my actions, about different things that I do. That's when I first started learning about that lesson. And from there, it branched out into the person that I'm in right now. So the reason why I'm making this point is that even when we do certain things like that, it becomes disingenuous for the simple fact that at the end of the day, you're not doing it to help that person. In reality, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you want to be accepted by your peers. You want your peers to give you a high five. You want your peers to acknowledge you. You want to have this certain type of image for yourself. And it has nothing to do with the person who you help. So within that, I agree with ToughLove with that you shouldn't do things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you are being disingenuous. Where you're doing that and you're recording it or you're taking videos and stuff. There's another one situation that I had experienced, right? When I was working at a shelter and stuff, right? And of course, every year these shelters, they have different drives based on, you know, the holiday season. This particular drive was dealing with Thanksgiving, right? So it was a lot of college students. Yeah, there was a lot of college students that was there at that shelter. And the reason why they was there is because it was part of their curriculum that they needed to go to the homeless shelter for their studies and stuff like that, in other words. So when I was doing it, they pulled out their phones and stuff like that. They was having a conversation with people pulling out their phones and telling people on social media like, hey, I'm doing this and that. And they think they was doing a great thing. But I had went back and told them, I pulled it to the side like, hey, look, man, y'all need to be doing all that and stuff on. They asked me like, why? Like, look, I understand that, you know, you're doing it and you want people to acknowledge you, but at the end of the day, who are you really doing it for? Are you really doing it to help this person who you're serving? Were you being a servant to the person that you're serving, or is it on for your own personal gratification? Or is it for you that you want people to acknowledge you? What is it for? When I challenged them on that, they start thinking differently about it. You know, they had a different perspective and they start thinking differently about it. Of course, there was others who, at the same time, now I'm gonna do it, whatever, and they did what they did. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the end of the day, all that. It deals with that period and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I agree with him doing that. And I don't, a lot of times when I see people doing that, to be honest with you, I immediately think that they're being disingenuous. It does for them, you know what I'm saying? Hey Lawrence, what's up with it, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you. I see you, bro. do, do, do.
YouTube that I don't know about. Because, like you said, if you unsubscribe, you wouldn't see all of the positive stuff that I'm doing. And that's true. That's an actual factual statement. But don't think the person that's talking to you, giving you constructive criticism, or just saying, "Hey, yo," don't think I'm just this. Let me just stay online. I'm not online all day. That's not what I'm about.
I'm just saying, like, to me, I challenged people before. I said, let's kick each other drawers in the ass with the work. I said that, YouTube does love a little bit of roasting and drama. You guys want to make it beef or whatever, but Vanessa Fraction and a lot of people understand it's just roasting. That's what YouTube is. There's no.
I don't know
I
who
haven't
that is.
seen these people. I haven't bumped into these people. It's nothing. And when I bump into people in real life, majority.
Oh, also, I see y'all throwing the axe and stuff too. I had seen that video, by the way. That was the funniest thing I'd ever seen Tommy Sotomayor do. That dude had me crying laughing when I seen that. That was the funniest thing that they ever did. Man, that was so funny.
Majority, if not all, are very positive. They support my message, whether they're a blue check mark or whether they're somebody who worked off a garbage truck. And me, I don't put the person with a blue check mark above that person that's working on the garbage truck. I believe the person that's picking up the garbage has a better effect and more effect on my day-to-day life than an actual celebrity. I don't know Shaq. Well, I know him, but I don't see Shaq every day. I interact with the garbage man every day. Hold up, homeboy, don't leave before I get this trash here, because that's important. That helps keep my house clean.
Yeah.
So we have gotten things backwards. We're idolizing celebrities that we don't know, that we don't run into, and we're overshadowing the real people who do the work in real life. And that's not what I'm about. I'm not going to let people say that, oh, you don't hang like Gilbert, or you don't hang with your peers, and you don't hang with celebrities. That doesn't mean nothing. Most celebrities are damaged goods. I've been around them. I don't want nothing to do with somebody who feels like they're a celebrity. And maybe you guys don't know that yet, but most celebrities are on all type of drugs and all type of things because their life is miserable. They just got money.
Yeah. I think that, it's interesting to me that I don't know on your screen how it looks, but those chat boxes come pretty big or whatever. It's interesting what the people are donating just to say. But
Tough love, come on, bro. Stop being triggered about these super chats. Come on, let's have some discipline and just don't engage it. Why is that so hard? That boy get it triggered big time.
I would love to answer the last question if that's okay with you, because I think that's something you had said one time.
What did you say?
Yeah, this gentleman right here. So here's the thought process. I think what gives this guy the right to critique people? Here's my thought process. First of all, caring. You know what I'm saying? Caring. Thank you, Spinfire. Caring. That's what gives me the right. Caring. The same way Kwame Brown says, hey, I'm out putting in the work. I feel like I'm out putting in the work. But when we come here, I think there is a level of consistency that should be expected. Now, the thought process, what Kwame just said about, some people like a little drama, a little gossip. Yeah, okay, cool, gotcha, whatever. But I wouldn't want it to overshadow me personally. My page wouldn't want it to overshadow what it is my message is about. So if your message is, well, first of all, you got to identify what your message is. But I think that anybody who gives a damn, anybody who cares, if you care to go help the homeless, you care to go help small children, you care to go into the prison system, you care to give back and do shoe drives, it's a lot of people that don't care. You see what I'm saying? People would love to see me and whoever have a beef. You see what I'm saying? And this conversation right here, instead of you guys saying, hey, okay, let's see what these guys are talking about. We want to donate, so that way we can still try to split the narrative. And to me, it's not about that. It's about guys having a conversation and not being disrespectful and being able to promote moving forward. So that's what it's about for me.
Yeah. All right. So let's deal with this thing about critiquing. All right. Let's deal with this. All right. What I have observed and what I also learned through my studies is that one of the main reasons why you have people who want critics and retractor about critiquing is because of they don't want to be held accountable for a certain type of behavior that they are doing. Or furthermore, they don't want to change the type of behavior that they are doing. That's why they become a critic and be a retractor on that. That's why I say, who gives you the right? You're not qualified enough to critique me. You're not qualified enough to say these things about me. You know, but at the same time, all of us have a God-given right in this country known as freedom of speech, where you can give out your opinion. Now, just like I stated earlier, is that the only way that words have meaning and power if you allow the words have power over you, if you give it power. All right. There have been plenty of things that people have critiqued me personally about, and I have a choice on it. Depending on what they're critiquing me about, I have a choice to either accept it or reject it. Period. There's some things I've been critiqued about or criticized about, or as we say, constructive criticism. That thing literally helped me. It helped me to evolve into more of the person that I am right now. But I took it as face value. I took it as, hey, what you're saying is very valuable to me, so I'm going to apply that into my space. But likewise, there are also people out there that will do the same type of critique or the criticism because they just don't like you. Or they're a hater. Or their personal space is chaotic in hell, and they're projecting that same type of narrative to you because they want you to feel how the way they're feeling. So they'll critique you like that. Now, in them type of situations, you have to have this thing known as discernment to know the difference between when people are giving you some constructive criticism that can literally help you elevate, or it is people that straight up hating on you. You have to have that type of discernment to know the difference between the two. When you know the difference between the two, you accept what you need to accept, reject what you need to reject. And it's just that simple. You don't have to stay in the space to, they always said things about you. You don't have to stay in that space. You don't have to. That's not a requirement for you to stay in that space. You control your life. You control all the information that's been presented out to you. You do. You control that at the end of the day. You control what's either positive or negative words or affirmation that comes out within it. You control that. You do. But if you allow other people to control you, then guess who fault is that? It's not the person who's controlling you. It's you, because you made the choice to allow that person to control you. You decide to do that, not that person. Like I say, there have been plenty of times where people critique me about a whole lot of different things. I either take it as face value and I accept it for what it is and I apply it to my everyday life, or I reject it. Just that simple. It's just that simple. Yeah. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, that's really where it boils down to. Which I agree with that more. Just like I stated earlier, this is what we do as content creators, period. All of us as content creators, we clout. All of us do it, including me. I do it. Hell, I'm doing it right now. So I'm not exempt from this. I'm doing it right now. I'm literally using the content that been presented to me, and I'm clouting on it. I even created a thumbnail because I knew that thumbnail is going to create either people who are in support of this interview, or it's going to create people who want against it. I knew that. That's the reason why I did it. But the only difference is that I understand what I'm doing. I understand what it is. And I accept it for what it is. I'm not sitting up here lying to myself or to other people or try to be this quote unquote good guy character saying that, oh no, that ain't my intentions what I was doing, but I really was trying to do this. No, this is literally what I'm doing. Because I chose to do this. Because I understand how the way, as Kwame Brown say, how the way the YouTube algorithm works. So I do it like that accordingly. Everybody does that. Everyone on YouTube does that. And I believe that it had to come to a point in time where Tough Love need to accept the reality. He need to accept the fate, the FATE of this. That this is what it is. It's inevitable. It is what it is. But I'm almost done, y'all.
Yeah, but we also have to be honest about what we're doing. Like when you look at my before videos, if you haven't seen it, I said, okay, like I said, I understood what YouTube is. I understand what the mind is now. So most of these young cats, and that's the reason why most of the young people were watching. I'm roasted. Two celebrities are roasting each other back and forth. That's must-see TV. Unfortunately, that's what people want to see. But at the end of the day, whatever you're saying that I'm off message, I said that we're going to take these jokes and we're going to help these kids. And that's what I've done. And that's what I'm doing, regardless of whether you see it or not, regardless of whether I talk about trading and coding every day. Like, I don't know what you guys want from me. Do you want me to keep posting when I cash out to the Saginaw STEM, or when I donate to this organization, or don't you? Because when I do that, people say I shouldn't do that. So I'm just asking, why don't people take care and sweep around their own front porch? And if you need people on YouTube to get behind your message and your movement off of YouTube, then tell people about what you're doing, and let's see who shows up, and let's see who really cares.
Now, at the end of the day, once again, Kwame, at the end of the day, you shouldn't even care about what people want you to do, because that's what I stated earlier, is that if you allow people to manipulate and control you into their reality, how the way they perceive things to be, then you all you're going to do is become a slave of the system. That's where it boils down to. It also boils down to the point that you need to understand that, and this not only with Kwame, but this with Tough Love as well too. You need to understand that you are the artist. You're the one who's painting the canvas of your content. So it would be rude as hell for me, who looking from outside, and I'm looking at the painting that you created with your content, and telling you that, I want you to do this with this, and I want you to do that. Who am I to tell you that when it's your content, it's your art that you're creating? Period. This is the same thing where I remember State Gang was having a discussion between the content creator and the subscribers, where there's some content creators that literally believe that the subscribers is the ones who overall control the content, which I disagree with that. At the end of the day, it's the content creator who controls the content, because he's the artist. He's the artist, period. But at the same time, there are subscribers, just like what's happening right now in the super chat right now. There's some subscribers, there's some even viewers who are not even subscribers. They feel that if they donate, then they could control the content. That they have that they're considered themselves as a quote unquote stakeholder, because they're donated to it. So now they're feeling like they're entitled. They feel like that they're entitled to not only their opinion, but they also feel like they're entitled to control the content creator art. And this is where I disagree with that. At the end of the day, the subscriber or even the viewer do not control the overall art of the content creator unless the content creator allow them to do that. Unless the content creator allow them to do that. Now let me give y'all an example. Let me give y'all an example. Now I'm not just ready on name dropping. It's just based on my observation. All right. Now with the situation with CMA, right? Michael Allen. Originally, his content, he was talking about different things about, about his spirituality. He was talking about his lifestyles, and he was quote unquote a mukbanger as well too. He was displaying his culinary skills, his cooking skills on his content, and that's where he was living at. But then he started straying away into where he wanted to start talking about other people or other content creators, and now he started attracted viewers who became subscribers, who became moderators, who now feel like they are known as stakeholders of his content. So now they're controlling the narrative of his content. So now he had no other choice to reinvent the wheel of his content into how the way it is right now. And there are a lot of content creators that I have observed that does this, that literally allow the subscribers or the viewers to control the narrative of their content. Instead of understanding that you're the artist, you control the overall flow of your content, how the way you want it to be, how the way you want your content to be portrayed, it to be, you control that. Not the subscribers, not the people who's on the stakeholders or who's donating. It's you. Now you're probably saying, well, Urban, they the one who give me donate money. Well, what should I do about that? Guess who's making the choice to give you the donations? It's not you. It's the subscriber. Overall, they the one who making the choice to do that, not you. So you don't have nothing to do with that. Now, ToughLove did mention this, and I actually, to be honest with you, I actually agree with this. ToughLove had mentioned earlier that he was placing these super chats up here and stuff, right? And Kwame response was that well, hey, they super chat and stuff like that, and I'll place it up there because they're the one who's on donating. Now, the reason why in this instant I agree with ToughLove on that, because now it's coming to the point to where your stakeholders has a say-so. Since I give you money, you got to put my own comments up there. That way I can literally let ToughLove see how the way I feel about him, whether I agree or disagree, or hell, I'm just trolling. But you being the content creator, right? You should be seeing that, right? Like, you know what? Some of these dudes really are trolling on her, so I don't care if you paying me or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to post it up here. You feel some certain type of way about it? Oh, well, because you're the one who gave me money. At the end of the day, it's up to me to decide if I'm going to put this up here or not. It's my decision whether I do that or not. We're not required. Even as subscribers, let me tell even the subscribers that too. We as content creators are not required to put your super chat up on the live. We're not required to do that. That is a privilege that we do. Just like it's a privilege of the subscriber donating. That is a privilege that we do to acknowledge the fact that you wanted to donate. But we are not required to do that. We're not even required to acknowledge that you donate. We don't even have to acknowledge that you donate if we don't want to, because it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement with YouTube or anything like that. It's not a requirement for us to do that. but we do it as a courtesy. So y'all have to understand that too. Even when you use it to try to troll people, you got to understand that it's true. I don't want to put your comment up there at all. Period. I don't care. Then you press another comment. Why you didn't put my comment up there? Because I don't have to. Because it's my art. It's my content. I don't have to put it up there if I don't want to. But I appreciate you wasting your money. I'll gladly use it, but that's you who made that choice and that decision. So I'm gonna let them finish this last part. And like there's about almost like about 20 more minutes of this video, but I'm not gonna show the rest of it because what they're gonna end up doing is they're gonna end up reiterating what was already being discussed. And so I'm not gonna do that, nor I'm not gonna put y'all in all that. All right. So I'm gonna let them finish that last point there. And I'm gonna give my final perspective about it. We're gonna be done with this, all right? Hope y'all.
Otherwise, we're all just talking on the internet for views and money. You know, I don't have a axe to grind in New York, but I was up in New York advocating and fighting for people in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I was in DC. I'm going all over. I didn't go to LA because the mayor told us don't go to LA because they can't protect us. So I didn't go to LA. But other than that, I'm everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everybody has their different level of help, though. Everybody has a different level of support based on what they can do. So I don't knock anybody that has a little reach versus a big reach. It's what you could do, you know what I'm saying, based on your status. So whatever it is that you're doing, again, I felt like the trading and coding to me was significant. I spoke on it. There are other things that were brought to my attention. I spoke on those things. So I don't think that I don't have a major disagreement with anybody. Anybody that I did, I addressed those things already. So I don't really know. It's kind of like what you said when we was on Miss 504 platform. It's like, or afterwards, it's like it went the way I thought it was going to go, because there's not a real issue if you're thinking with common sense. It's not a real problem if you're thinking with common sense. You don't know what I do off of YouTube, just like I don't know what you do off YouTube. I know what you post, but there's a lot of things that we do to help other people that we ain't posting. Well, I'm not posting. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't want nobody. I don't want nobody to feel a certain type of way if we got videos in their face or whatever. But I mean, to be honest with you, man, I think it's a lot of people who understand that concept.
Well, the thing that I'm confused on, and this is what I'm confused on with a lot of people that say they don't like Kwame, it's like, I don't see these people that claim they agree with me on trading and coding. I don't hear the people mentioning trading and coding on their channel unless they're telling their audience that I'm not talking about it. If you agree with me about trading and coding, I should at least be able to see one video or two or three. It's been a year now. And I don't see a lot of videos on any of you guys' pages saying, yes, we're going to fight hard at the polls for trading and coding. You politicians, be on the lookout. When we go to the polls this 2024, we're going to advocate for trading and coding. And any politician that don't put trading and coding in the district, you're not going to be elected in. None of you guys say this.
Is that a petition you started or something that I don't know about?
What I'm saying is you mentioned me not talking about trading and coding. If you agree with me about trading and coding, why are you not making videos saying, I agree with Kwame Brown that we need trading and coding in schools? And let's advocate. I want you to say it on your channel. Instead, you take the lane of saying he's not talking about it no more. Why is that?
No, everything you just said is exactly what it is. Why is that? Everything you just this is the no. I know what you meant. What I'm saying is, if he's not talking about trading and coding right now, and you don't see nobody else doing it, why would he stop talking about trading and coding? That's exactly what the hell I mean. Why would he stop?
That's your answer. That's your answer to my
Tough love. Once again, you missed the whole point, bro. You missed the whole point what he was saying. And his question, once again, was very direct and it was very valid what he's saying. So once again, what Kwame is asking you is that if you agree with the positive thing I'm doing, which in this case is talking about trading and coding, why are you not promoting on your platform as well about trading and coding? It's simple. But however, he's also acknowledging the fact that the reason why is because it is easier for a person to talk about the negative things that a person is doing rather than the positive. The reason why is because negative publicity sells. That's the reason why. It is easier for us to do lives talking about what Kwame Brown ain't doing. It's easier for us to do lives about what ToughLove ain't doing. The negative part about it. Very easy. You'll get all the views and everything based on negative content because it sells. The behavior sells. And so that's what he was saying. If that be the case, then why not promote videos talking about the things that I'm literally standing for, which is, in this case, y'all talking about trading the coder. Why not on your platform you promote that? Why not on your platform you talk about that? But instead of you talking about that, you're more focusing on the negative, which what I'm not doing. And the reason why, because at the end of the day, it all deals with what I've been saying for the longest, that we all clout chasers. We all clout chasing. We clout chase for the story because we know that's what's going to give us the views, and we know that's what's going to help our platform. That's where it boils down to. That's the reason why, in this case, ToughLove's not doing it. It is what it is. Yeah, true. Yeah, he pretty strong on this trading the coding thing. I don't know what's up with this thing, but Lord. He said, "Well, I thought about Mad Milton. Should Mark, you probably say that Matt probably fly out of the bushes. See, he probably fly out the bushes. Nobody you mentioned his name. But yeah, it's that's where it really boiled down to. That at the end of the day, it's all about clout chasing. Because it's easier to put out negative content than it is positive. And I know for a fact that the content that I put out, a lot of content that I put out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's hard putting out positive content. And the reason why it's hard because a small portion of me want people to acknowledge who I am. I be wanting that type of acknowledgement. But I have learned that acknowledgement isn't really not that serious. That acknowledgement doesn't supersede the overall message that I'm talking about. It don't. So I learned to have the tough skin to just deal with it, to stay focused on what I'm putting out. Someone or some person or whatever, at one point in time, they're going to eventually see in one of my lives, they're going to acknowledge it. And it's going to go on viral. It happened before when I was on YouTube. No, I'm sorry, not on YouTube, but it happened before when I was on Facebook. I guarantee that it's going to happen again on YouTube. But it's for me to accept that and stay the course of who I am and do what I always do best, which is clout chase. Which is clout chase. That's what it is. So on this part, I think on this part, they're gonna start going back. They're gonna start talking going back to this whole trading the coded thing. Then Kwame Brown, he's gonna start talking about why people were talking about him and all the stuff there and stuff, and they're gonna start going back and forth with this, and then he's gonna reverting back to this go along, get along game. He's gonna circle all the way back around there. So I'm not going to subject y'all into that and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. Let y'all view that. If y'all want to view the rest of this video, it is on Kwame Brown page. You could, by all means, you can view this the remainder of this video. I made it to I stopped at the 1 hour and 49-minute mark. If you want to continue there, by all means, you can. The overall video is 2 hours and 41 minutes long. All right. So, but yeah, I'm going to stop it right here, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts about this overall interview. All right. Or this conversation, as they say. Overall, I believe that this particular conversation was something that it needed to happen for them, not just for the clout chasing, but for them personally, because I know they've been going back and forth for months and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that they needed to have this type of conversation towards each other to clear out a lot of things that been circulating on these YouTube streets. I believe that this whole entire conversation, even though there was some disagreeing with each other, or they agreed to disagree, and there was some parts where they literally agree with one another. But I believe that the overall nucleus of this was that it was a good conversation for them. It wasn't nothing negative about it. It wasn't ToughLove trying to one up Kwame. It wasn't Kwame trying to one up ToughLove. You know what I'm saying? For us, what I'm viewing about it. You know what I'm saying? However, people in the chat and stuff, you know what I'm saying, they are trying to keep it going on to my, oh man, ToughLove and lost the argument. ToughLove that lost the debate, but I don't see this as being a debate. Furthermore, when people say things like that, they don't even understand what actual debate is. They're just using the word. They're just using words that they don't understand the meaning, the usage of. You know what I'm saying? So they're just saying what they're saying. But I believe that this conversation, I believe, was needed for them to have this discussion. Overall, it was very interesting. It was a very good conversation, especially for me, Urban, to pick up on this and I do a review on this. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of things that was missed. That's the reason why I'm addressing them right now on my platform. I'm addressing these certain things and that was some miss on her that they was talking about and stuff. So I'm saying it so y'all can have a different perspective as well too. All right. So other than that, y'all, that is it. I appreciate y'all tuning in to this episode. I know this episode was a little different from my normal episodes. To be honest, today is Wednesday. I supposed to been doing real stories today, but this fell on my table, so this became priority. So I want to go ahead and do this review. I want to shout out and acknowledge Kwame Brown and ToughLove too, as well too. That overall, but what they did, they was being very cordial. They was being men about the situation as well. There wasn't roasting each other, literally roasting each other to try to put each other down. They both was absolutely slick dissing each other, but that was for clout. You know what I'm saying? So I want to shout out to them. I also want to personally shout out to Kwame Brown as well, because I already did one half of this video, but I did just the audio part of it. And so far, he haven't flagged me or anything like that. So I appreciate Kwame Brown doing that, and also with this live as well too. If it ever circulate around to where Kwame Brown end up viewing this live as well, I appreciate that he allowed me to view his content. As well too, you know what I'm saying. Same thing with ToughLove as well too. Overall, you know what I'm saying. No one ill feelings, no beef or anything like that. You know what I'm saying. Just me clout chasing and just reviewing your content. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. Tune in tomorrow. I'm having another show tomorrow. What Urban talk about tomorrow, I have no idea. I don't know. I may do a motivational Monday tomorrow, since I didn't do it Monday, because as y'all know, I was out of town at that time. So on the road. So I may do a motivational Monday tomorrow. We'll see how the way it goes. But other than that, tune in tomorrow, y'all. And like always, y'all continue to fight fate with faith. And I will see y'all again on the next episode. Peace out and good night.
I don't care how long it take to get an op back. All my niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.